Support for the show, FYF Sports, is brought to you by Manscaped, who's the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide. Join the movement for all of your below-the-waist grooming needs. Get 20% off and free shipping with coupon code FYFCREW at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code FYFCREW. Your balls will thank you.
Ain't talking about nothing, right? Watch this. We gon' bring that pressure.
Just a little FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? They been hating at first, now they calling us the best. Hit up YouTube, tell them cut the check. Just a FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? Woo, fuck your feelings, we all know who the real is. I be getting to it, ain't wasting no time. Walking straight in, we ain't waiting in line. Fuck your feelings, you don't care about mine. You a YouTube gangster, don't be yelling out slime. Or you talking LB, talking ticket TV. Ain't nobody watching them, all the viewers be sleep. 5 years in, all your subs is your friends. Ticket TV, watch your cars again. Just a little FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? They been hating at first, now they calling us the best. Hit up YouTube, tell them cut the check. Just a FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? Woo, fuck your feelings, we all know who the real is. All know, shop don't close, working 24, trying to make the channel grow. Look at them, pointing fingers, hating on the low. You can't compete with our podcast show. Couldn't make it in the league, so we got on TV. Crying by LeBron like a little baby. You must be crazy, trying to ever play me. Or you super tough until it's time to say cheese. Just a little FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? They been hating at first, now they calling us the best. Hit up YouTube, tell them cut the check. Just a FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? Woo, fuck your feelings, we all know who the real is.
FYF Sports, man, it's Lamont, man. Salute to everybody for getting in here early today. And we got a crazy stream for you guys, man. Crazy stream. Apologize that the stream started a little late. Man, I got some crazy news right before this stream just started, y'all. So we might have to cut the stream short today. We still gonna chop it up. We still gonna get through this stream. But man, I got some crazy news right before this stream started, man. I don't know if you guys have been following the NCAA tournament. I don't know how closely you guys have been following all the teams. But I know a lot of you guys know my affiliation with Grand Canyon University. And man, I just found out one of our players just passed away in a car accident. So I mean, I got my phone blowing up with texts from a lot of people. And I might have to cut the stream short just to make a few phone calls and holler at a few people. But like I said, we definitely gonna be talking about the Lakers today. But man, get news like that today, man. When you talk about a player that, man, we talking about a player that look. A lot of you guys didn't even realize it. Y'all were just watching this man play in the NCAA tournament, and this man was a senior. He had to sit out. He had to sit out his junior year. He was academically ineligible. He could have went overseas and just gave up on school. He stuck around with a new coaching staff, new coaches, new system, came back as a senior, set his ego to the side. He came back this year and played great under Bryce Drew and company over here. So, man, yeah, that's sad news. I just found out like 10 minutes ago, man. Found out like 10 minutes ago, man. It's very upsetting to hear that. That guy had a lot of promise, man. His name was Oscar Frayer, man. Man, that's tough news to hear. And like I said, some of you guys actually watched him play. It just tells you right there, man, time is precious, man. Time is definitely precious, man. Nah, Grove Money, we're not going to cut the stream. We're not going to cut the stream, you know. It's just, you know, and again, I'm going to have my time to talk to people about this right here. You know, I'm going to have my time to reach out to people, you know, who was really close to him, his family, friends. But he was a fan favorite here on campus. Everybody knew him. He was a fifth-year senior. I mean, when you're on campus 5 years, everybody knows you. Everybody knows you. So, man, that was crazy to hear. Crazy to hear. But we're going to get to this. And again, like I said, we might cut the stream short today, but we definitely got to chop it up about the Lakers because the Lakers, man, looking like they're going on another loss for today. They got to figure this out because this was a winnable game. I mean, when you don't have LeBron and AD, you still got a strong enough support. You guys got to realize this Lakers supporting cast. All of these guys were in the NBA Finals last year. Let's not act like Kuzma don't have championship experience. KCP, the Morris twin, they got a lot of people on this team who have had championship level experience. When you got Schroeder, they had enough talent to win this game. It's like sometimes, even though you're a little bit outmanned, you just got to go out and win games. And I know it can be done because if you look at a lot of those games when Greg Popovich would sit some of his star players, Greg Popovich would sometimes sit close to his whole starting lineup. And what would those guys on that bench do? Those guys on that bench, Patty Mills and a whole bunch of no-name guys, they would go out there and compete and on most occasions go win that game. These are guys who was not even in the rotation or barely played. See, and when teams see if the Lakers, and this is one of the reasons why the Lakers are probably smacking themselves in the face because this is one of the reasons why they probably should have got off Kuzma when his value was high because Kuzma's showing you right now he's never going to be that third star. He's never going to be that third star. He's not stepping up. He's not galvanizing his team. He's not leading them. He just puts up points, and he's worse on defense. He does not make your team better whatsoever. Man, I got so many people texting me right now. It's crazy. And Ray Durazo, you know, and normally on most occasions I would disagree with you about the empty stats, but If there's any player in the league in the NBA today that I can definitely say puts up empty stats, it's Kuzma, because we saw Kyle Kuzma his rookie year almost averaged 20 points a game, and they were all empty. We actually, even though Kuzma led that team in scoring, we actually saw more promise out of Brandon Ingram and maybe even Lonzo Ball. Like if you look at the trajectory of Lonzo Ball and Kyle Kuzma right now, who are you taking right now? Everybody's gonna go with Lonzo Ball. At least Lonzo Ball is showing some type of promise. And I was saying this last year about Kuzma, y'all. I was saying this about Kuzma last year. And again, JR, I know you hoop. So JR, you know that look in a player's eyes when he's on the court and he don't know the offense? Kuzma looks like that, especially when he's out there on the court with LeBron. I don't think he understands offenses. I think he's just out there running and shooting. And he definitely doesn't understand defenses. Y'all saw me do that breakdown of his defense. I mean, when you compare Kuzma with a guy like Michael Porter Jr., at least Michael Porter Jr. is so dynamic of a scorer that it kind of makes up for the fact that he's such a bad defender. And Michael Porter Jr. has actually shown flashes that he can be a good defender. I just think he needed to make the transition from playing high school and college level, low-level college guys to the NBA. And I think the same thing is happening with James Wiseman. I think once James Wiseman when it clicks and he starts to catch on to the speed and the strength of the NBA game, I think his defense is going to catch up as well. So I don't expect Porter Jr. to be stuck in that defensive lapse his whole career. Kuzma has been stuck in this bad defensive lapse for 4 years now. Boy, this Laker roster. Let me pull up this Laker roster, man. And I told you guys, I told you guys that the Lakers are going to win the buyout market. You know, when it comes to that point in time where players are starting to get bought out, the Lakers are definitely going to win that by a long shot. I told you guys, almost a month ago, I've been hearing whispers that JJ Redick and Andre Drummond are both going to go to LA if they get bought out. And the Cavs are just asking for too much. The Cavs have now lowered their standard. They're trying to give Drummond away. They just wanted 2 second-round picks. Nobody wants to pull the trigger. And I think nobody wants to pull the trigger because, for one, they're not going to get a commitment that he'll resign. And two, all of the teams that he can fit well with, like the Lakers or any team that's potentially in the playoffs, none of them have cap space to bring his salary in. Unless you have a humongous trade exception like the Celtics. And I don't think the Celtics are willing to give up that trade exception on a player who is probably not going to be with that team next year. I think the Celtics want to use it for a more for sure pick, something that's not going to help them now, but is also going to help them maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now as well. And Keenan Capin, the one thing that the Lakers can offer Drummond is a chance to reinvigorate his career. If Drummond goes to LA, shows teams what he can do, and they can win a championship, that only means that Drummond is going to get re-signed by somebody. He's going to be able to go out and make the money that he wants to make. I mean, we saw what playing with the Lakers did for Rondo. Rondo was really on his way out the league. He took a minimum contract with the Lakers. He showed that he still had it, especially in clutch moments. And then he was able to get a bigger contract going into this season. He got a multiple-year – I think he got an $18 million deal. Same thing with Dwight Howard. Same thing. This is one of the reasons why JaVale McGee is sticking around in the league. You can go to LA and playing with LeBron James and that team and that system can reinvigorate your career, help you go get paid, even if you don't stick around in that system for a while. I mean, and Star Scream, yeah, you're right. Schroeder is a complimentary piece. So I never expected Schroeder to come out and just lead this team to win after win after win, because Schroeder is not the guy that's supposed to be doing that for you. Kuzma is the third guy on this team that's supposed to be leading this team to those wins if something goes awry with LeBron and AD. Kuzma's next man up to lead this team. Kuzma's been there the longest. A Laker fan. That's not a Laker fan. You can. I mean, but Laker fan. I want to take this is, and this just goes to credibility. No, and you probably weren't around when I was saying this, but Laker fan. When I told Hitman X 2 months before it happened that CP3 was going to Phoenix, and everybody laughed at me. They told me I was crazy. Now what happened? CP3 went to Phoenix. When I tell you guys that because Lonzo Ball did not sign an extension, which is what the team really wanted him to do, it makes it extremely difficult to trade him right now because it puts the team in a peculiar situation. See, here's the situation when we're talking about another trade situation. Lonzo Ball is now far out. He's exceeding his value. His trade value had dropped. He now is outplaying his value. He's outplaying the $4 million that he's making this year. So he's worth 18 to 21 million, but he's only making 4 million. But so there's only a handful of teams in the league that can actually trade for him because of the hard salary cap. But the teams that can trade for him, like the Bulls and the Hawks, why would they give up assets to trade for him now when it's really not going to help them win any more games, when they can just sign them in the offseason and get them for free? So what they can do is every team now that tries to trade for Lonzo Ball, they're just going to lowball the offer. They can give you, they can give you 60 cents on the dollar for him. And be like, you don't have to take it. If you don't take it, we just offer them in the offseason and you'll just be forced to either do a sign and trade then or just don't match the offer and let us get them for free. Lonzo Ball made a smart move because Lonzo Ball, in a sense, by not signing that extension and betting on himself, he kind of put himself in a situation where he's controlling his own destiny. Because now the Pelicans have to make some real life decisions. You literally have 15 to 20 teams knocking on their door asking about Lonzo Ball. So now they got two questions to ask. Why the hell is everybody asking about Lonzo Ball? Is he really that good? And do we really want to pay him? And when you're a small market team, you need to go pay players. They need to pay Lonzo, and then they need to overpay to bring another star player in. It's just facts. And the Lakers are in a tough situation as well. You guys know, why are the Lakers leaving 2 roster spots open? Why do they have 2 roster spots open right now? Like, y'all think that's just coincidence this late in the season? Look, it's this late in the season. LeBron and AD both have went down. Caruso was dealing with concussion issues. Why haven't they filled up those roster spots yet, y'all? They have every reason in the world. Oh, and Taj said he's making 8.3. And Taj, even with the 8.3, that's still about 12 million less than what he's worth. Lonzo Ball is going to be making at least 20 million a year next year. His next contract that he's going to be between 18 to 20 mil. The Bulls, why would the Bulls trade for him? Why would the Bulls give up assets when they can just sign them for free in the offseason? The Bulls aren't going anywhere. Signing Lonzo Ball is not going to propel the Bulls or the Hawks to an NBA championship. Why would they give up assets to get a player where it's still no guarantee that they keep him in the offseason if they're not willing to match any offers that he gets? There might be a team crazy enough to really overpay Lonzo Ball. I think Lonzo Ball can make up to $27 million a year. Is there some team really crazy enough to overpay him just because they want to win the bidding war? I don't think so, but what I'm saying is that's what you risk when you allow this to happen. But the one thing that the Pelicans can't do is they can't give him up for free because he was part of the AD trade. You have to maximize every asset that you got out of that trade. You can't give up nothing for free. The Bulls made an offer, but it was trash. The Bulls made a horrible offer. They actually want a good player. I mean, they already have Eric Bledsoe. Why do they want Tomas Satoransky? It's the same thing. It doesn't make you any better. It actually makes you a lot worse. A draft pick isn't a for sure thing. They don't even know where they're going to be drafted at. They need a young talent with promise. All right. And I'll give you an example. Even though I know this is not a real legitimate trade offer, but what I'm saying is they're looking for somebody to offer something like a Jonathan Isaac and a draft pick. You know, and we're talking about an Orlando team that actually needs a point guard because they're just they're depleted at the point guard spot. And they're not even running around making crazy trade scenarios like that. And another thing you guys need to know is whenever you hear all of these potential trade offers floating around in the air, that's how you know there's really no trade talks going on. I told you guys when PJ Tucker got traded to Milwaukee, there were no rumors, there were no leaked reports, nothing. It just happened. And then everybody's like, oh, wow. Did you hear PJ Tucker's going to? Yeah. How come you didn't hear anything leaking about that? Because when real trade talks are happening, it goes radio silent. Just like the Lakers have gone radio silent. He says New Orleans has leverage with Lonzo. Yeah, they're not giving Lonzo away. Hell no. They're not going to give him away. Now that he's playing the way he's playing now, I don't believe he's going to be a Pelican. I don't believe he's going to be a Pelican next year, but I think there's going to be a sign and trade in the offseason. That's the only way you get max value for him. Remember with the Celtics and Terry Rozier. All right. The Celtics knew that they were going to lose Terry Rozier. They didn't want to pay him, but they were able to conduct a sign and trade because when you're bringing in a player of that much money, you also need to be freeing up that much cap space. So it just kind of made sense. So there are teams out there in circumstances like that where they need to free up space. You can take on some calories, that you can take on some pieces so you don't lose a player for nothing, but then you also give them what they want. So there's going to be a lot of scenarios out there like that for them. They can get much more for him in the offseason. Trade him now, that'd be a bad move. And I think the GM, I think David Griffin out there with the New Orleans Pelicans, he's not a dumb GM. He's one of the smartest GMs in the league. He says Lonzo for Lou Williams and Terrence Mann. They're not going to do that. Tayshaun Holmes. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. Horrible deal. Horrible deal. They want a first-round draft pick, which we know the Clippers don't have any. That's the first-round draft pick is mandatory. And they want a young player. Lou Williams ain't young. Lou Williams looks garbage this year. And Terrence Mann ain't showed a lick of promise ever. So you just think that Clippers can give up their garbage players without having to give up a draft pick and get a promising young talent in Lonzo Ball? What I'm saying, the trade has to make sense for both teams. And why would they take a Lou Williams and a Terrence Mann when they're trying to put Nickeil Walker-Alexander in a situation where he's getting more playing time? All right. The player that's in the way of Nickeil Walker-Alexander's playing time is Eric Bledsoe. Eric Bledsoe is actually the guard that's probably going to get moved. That's the more realistic scenario because his contract is much larger. And you can tell by his playing time that he's not in the plans of the future for this team. Isaac Chen says Terrence Mann isn't garbage. Okay, you can say that. Terrence Mann is Terrence Mann hasn't done anything in the league that makes me believe he could be a star. Lonzo has. Terrence Mann has struggled to get in the rotation on almost every team that he's played on. When you're a good player, coaches find and manipulate playing time for you. It's not very hard to do. When you're a borderline player, yeah, it's easy to say you're going to get DNP tonight. It's easy to do that. They're not going to take trash for him. Like let's be realistic. I can't even picture in my head one Terrence Mann highlight from the Clippers this year. Not a steal, not a nothing. But that's y'all boosting yourself up, trying to get yourselves to really believe that the Pelicans will take the Clippers garbage for Lonzo Ball. That's garbage. I mean, yeah, that's just telling the truth about him. He plays in garbage time. Go Mike said, Rob Pelinka ain't making no moves. And no, he's not making any trades, but he will be active in the buyout market. JR said we can't even break down Terrence Mann's game. Yeah, I can. He's a defender. He's extremely athletic. Struggles to shoot the ball. You say we can't break down his game. I'm not particularly sure how you're able to break down his game, being that he's hardly even in the game for you even to break down any film. Come on, y'all. Terrence Mann is an okay player. He's an okay young guy that struggles to get in the rotation. He struggled to get in the rotation on two teams. He struggled to get in the rotation on an Oklahoma City team that didn't have very many good players. He says KCP and Trez are gone. No, KCP and Trez are not getting traded. Hold on, y'all. When have y'all known at any time? Like, when have y'all known for the Lakers or not just the Lakers? There's very few times that players who won a championship with LeBron James just get traded just like that. And the Lakers have already said that they want to keep Montrezl and Schroeder long term. Now, I'm not saying it can't happen. I mean, if the right deal comes across the table, maybe KCP can get traded. But LeBron James is not one who likes a change in chemistry. If you ain't played with LeBron before, LeBron is not trying to play with you a month and a half before the playoffs start. It don't really work like that, y'all. And at the end of the day, when we all know that KCP has been playing trash, what other team will take KCP with the understanding that this man has been playing like trash and very inconsistent? So you Laker fans want to give up your trash, just like the Clippers fans want to give up their trash to bring in something of value, but you don't think about what the other team is getting. What team in the NBA really wants a KCP? I really want you to tell me what team in the NBA right now is thirsting over KCP, saying, man, I wish we can get our hands on KCP. We need KCP in this starting lineup right now. We willing to – come on, man. Stop, man. Y'all got to stop with that. Come on, man. Like, look, and that's the thing. Like, and this is what remember what I told you when I first started this channel. Look, just because NBA GMs don't think like y'all. NBA GMs don't think like y'all. He says they traded Danny Trash Green for Schroeder. No, well, Danny Green was able to go to a team where they actually had a need for him. You could say he was trash, but Danny Green was still starting even when he wasn't making shots. So while you guys saw that he wasn't making shots, Frank Vogel saw that he was still extremely important to their defense, and he was. He played great defense. The only thing that was happening there was he was missing shots. He was actually still playing pretty good defense. He said, Flight Mike said he might be out. Yeah, you know, well, like I said, y'all. Did Flight Mike tell you guys that Chris Paul was going to the Phoenix Suns? Like, there's a lot of things. Like, come on, y'all. Like, obviously, people can report and speculate on stuff all they want, man. But it's about the business of basketball. I just want y'all to think about the business of basketball first, and then think about what works best for these teams. Because the first thing that these teams are thinking about is the business. When you think when these teams are thinking about, when the Pelicans sit down and talk about Lonzo Ball, they're talking about the business of basketball first, the money aspect of it. And you guys, let's not forget, they've already negotiated with Lonzo Ball. They know exactly what Lonzo Ball wants. They know exactly what Lonzo Ball is going to be asking for on a year-by-year basis. They know exactly. They've already negotiated with them. All right. Lonzo Ball probably put a number out there, and they probably said, you know what, you got to go out there and earn it if you really want that number. Now he's earned it. And now not only has he earned it, he's opened the eyes of a number of other teams who now believe that the Pelicans don't want him because they didn't sign him to that extension, or at least he refused the extension that they offered. The extension that they offered to begin the season was fitting for the way Lonzo was playing when he ended in the bubble. That's what Lonzo deserved based on how he was playing when the bubble ended. He did not deserve any money. See, and Elder Rufus came with another fact. He says Trez has an opt-out clause, so the Lakers don't control if they trade Trez or not. Trez controls it. There's another thing you have to consider. What's in these players' contracts? I mean, and when we're talking about this Laker team, because I want to get back on the Lakers, when we talk about what can they do, you know, when we look at tonight, there's a lot of players on that Laker team that I was highly disappointed in tonight. And I'm going to start with, and I know there weren't a lot of heavy expectations for him. But I was disappointed in Kuzma tonight. I was disappointed in Talen Horton-Tucker tonight. Talen Horton-Tucker tonight, y'all. 5 points, 4 assists, 1 rebound, 2 steals. In an opportunity, and he said Alex Caruso got to go. Jay Mir, that makes no sense. Alex Caruso is making minimal NBA money, and he has championship level experience playing with the Lakers. Did y'all forget that he started Game 6 of the NBA Finals and was a major defensive influence on them blowing the Miami Heat out the gym? And hold on. And the business of basketball tells you that Caruso is not affecting the Lakers very much. The only thing Caruso's doing is helping because he's not costing you anything with regards to salary cap. All right. He does everything that the coach asks him to do. He goes out there and play. And LeBron James loves playing with him. What are you going to trade Caruso for on his maybe $1 or $2 million that he makes? Only thing you're going to trade Caruso for is another player that makes $1 or $2 million. And generally, players that make $1 or $2 million aren't very good. Caruso just happens to be beneficial to this system because of the skill set that he offers. So it makes no sense to just be just because Caruso doesn't do the things that y'all want him to do doesn't mean that he's not doing the things that Frank Vogel wants him to do. And Elder, you are right. The Lakers have already come out and said Talen Horton-Tucker is untouchable. He's not going nowhere. And you're right. A team, if they want Talen Horton-Tucker, is going to have to make a big offer. I don't know, Elder. I don't know. That teams have been calling. Teams have been calling about Talen Horton-Tucker. The Lakers are not willing to come up off of him for some reason. I think they truly believe he's going to sign with the LA. At the end of the day, y'all, I've already told you guys that the Lakers will get to buyout free agent signings. And those free agent signings will more than likely be Andre Drummond and JJ Redick. See, because now what's happened is now you're hearing the reports of those two signing with the Lakers start to leak out there. I've been telling you guys this for months. I told Elder. Remember I told Elder, remember I was talking to you. I said when the season ended, I said the Lakers are up to something because they go radio silent. Like we're not hearing like we're hearing all of this trade speculation with Chicago and Atlanta and the Pelicans. Generally, when you hear all this speculation, it's generally fake news. We don't hear nothing coming out of LA. And they got some of the biggest holes that you can imagine in a roster. Whenever teams go radio silent, remember the Bucks went silent, and next thing you know, they popped out and went and got PJ Tucker. And we keep hearing this crazy stuff out of Miami. Do y'all really think some of this, trade talk is real coming out of Miami? They said Miami offered 3 players for an injured Spencer Dinwiddie. I don't believe that. It could potentially be true. And teams can make any offer that they want. Any team can make any offer, but most teams are just going to laugh it off or ignore it. KCP might get traded. Yeah, there's always a possibility for any player to get traded. Always a possibility for any player to get traded. But he does not give any value to most teams. Like there's most teams right now that take on KCP's contract are going to be doing you a favor. And so the only way a team is probably going to take KCP's contract is if you're also giving them a young player like Talen Horton-Tucker. They're gonna do you a favor like that because KCP is not to most teams in NBA. He's not adding any significant value. Because again, you guys as Laker fans are upset with him because he's not playing up to par. If y'all see he's not playing up to par, why the hell would all of these other teams want him? And at the end of the day, when it matters most, when it's in the playoffs, when it, just like when the Lakers, when they lost game 1 against the Blazers, what did KCP come out and do? Whenever they needed those guys to make shots, he came out and made shots and he showed up. He played great defense. And Elder, yeah, his defense is great. His defense is great, and most of y'all still say he's playing bad, which he is to a certain degree. And his defense is still has not caught up to where it was last year. I don't think so, at least. I mean, I've seen him play good defense in chunks, but it's not been consistent. You're gonna have you might be able to finesse if you can finesse a trade and get him off your books. Hey, more power to you. I don't see it happening. I don't see it. There's no teams clamoring for. I want y'all to tell me one playoff team that's clamoring for a KCP. There's no what playoff team because you can't put him on a young team. He's just going to take away from young people. Okay, he has a very good contract for trades. You still are trading him to another team. Another team has to take that contract and not just take the contract. They have to have a need for him on that roster. I just want to know what team needs a KCP. What team in NBA has a glaring hole to shooting guard position where they say we need that dude. We need KCP. When you look at all the other 2 guards on the market, the Buddy Hields and all that, they're going to bypass all of those guys up and say, no, we want KCP. You got Norman Powell out there on the market who's been playing great this year. No, we want KCP. You got Evan Fournier in Orlando who's playing great basketball. No, we're going to find a way to go get KCP. No, it's not. The KCP is not the hot come out. KCP is not where it's at. I understand, Elder. I understand Buddy Hield's defense is horrific. I would still take Buddy Hield over KCP. because he's much younger. He's much younger, much more consistent. At least I know what I'm getting from him. With KCP, you don't know what you're getting on a night in, night out basis. At least when you get Buddy Hield, you know that he comes with bad defense. KCP is supposed to be a good defender, and that is inconsistent. And he's supposed to. We say he's a shot maker, but for all of this year, he hasn't been a shot maker. No, I understand, but what I'm saying is, when we say trade KCP, I just want y'all to find me a trade partner for him. I don't know what teams out there are just saying, let's go get KCP. Nobody's really that's not a serious conversation right now. Because, again, it makes sense for the Lakers to trade him, but it also has to make sense for another team that trades for him. That's all I'm saying in this whole situation. Because I've yet to see anybody give me another team that actually has a hole in their roster where they need a KCP. And he would add value to that team. He said, Wes Matthews stinks. No, Wes Matthews does not stink. Guys like Wes Matthews activate in the playoffs. Hey, and I hope he stays too, because he plays much better alongside LeBron James. KCP plays better when he has no pressure. When he's out there with LeBron, is less pressure on him to perform. When there's more pressure on him, you can't put all that pressure. Look at Kuzma folding right now. He has all that pressure on him right now to show up and be the team's leading scorer. He's folding. He's folding right now. So we got Schroeder with a solid game today, 15.7 assists. I don't know, man. Well, I'm gonna drop this link, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get y'all up in here today. We got to cook. We got to figure out how can the Lakers rectify this roster, because the one thing I know is that they will be healthy, and when they get back healthy, are there going to be chemistry issues, or are they going to be able to just jump right into stride? He says Golden State can use KCP. No, they cannot use KCP. The reason why Golden State can't use KCP is they got a whole bunch of young guards that they're trying to groom for next year. On top of the fact that they already have Andrew Wiggins, who can be a 2. You have Steph, who's by default, he's a 2 because they allow Draymond Green to run the point. They don't need him. Then you got Jordan Poole, who's playing great basketball off the bench. All right, you still got Kent Bazemore over there. He's a 2. He's similar to KCP in a way. The Warriors don't need him. Come on. Come on, Ghost, man. I don't want to keep hearing that nonsense, man. Come on. I mean, we all know that, like, what do you want me to say? He's wrong? Like, of course, yeah, he's wrong when he says that, but we know why he says stuff like that. He says, I see teams will take Gasol as a backup center. Yeah, possibly. Teams might, but I just haven't heard his name with any buzz around it. Again, he's similar to KCP. Teams aren't out there saying, let's find a way to go bring in Marc Gasol as a backup center. Most teams, like the Nets, would rather play small ball than bring in a old center who can't move. We saw the Nets just play with Jeff Green until they brought it, until DeAndre Jordan got healthy. And then Claxton finally woke up and started playing basketball. Link is about to be in the chat, man. I want everybody to hit that link. Hit that link, jump in here so we can get through this conversation. Like I said, we're going to limit the time stream to this stream today for about 2.5, 3 hours. And again, normally we would go on a little bit longer, but man, I got a lot of people, a lot of phone calls I need to make. Because, man, it was just so surprising to hear the news that player, man. And if you guys, even if you guys just go on Twitter and just go to the GCU page and just get some words of condolence to him, man, just let him know. FYF sent you, man. But that's that dude, Oscar Frayer, man. He was loved in this community, man. That's a big time loss right there. That's a big time loss. All right, Oscar Frayer, man. Big time loss to the GCU community. All right. And really only people in Phoenix, Arizona or the GCU community will really understand it. But I mean, like JR knows. Like JR knows if he hoops right now. If somebody gave him a call right now and said one of his teammates passed, it's just like, come on, man, that's crazy. Oh, yeah, Elder. So he was a fifth-year senior, and from what I'm hearing, it was a car accident last night. He got in a car accident last night, and he was just, we just was excited about watching him in the NCAA tournament. Boom, he's playing against Iowa. He finished. He came back as a fifth-year senior, finished it out strong. Next thing you know, man, we get the phone call. Couple days after they get back. So, salute to the GCU community, man. I know they're gonna take a big loss. That's a humongous loss right there. I know a lot of people was hurt because of that, man. I definitely want to give big props to Oscar Frayer, man. Hold on 1 second. Let me drop this link in here. Got the link in the chat. Again, we don't just have Laker talk tonight. We want to talk about all the trade news that's floating around out there. All right, but let's talk about it. Let's dive into it from a more realistic perspective. Because I go around to some of these different podcasts and I just kind of listen. How are they talking about the trade talk? How are they talking about this trade news? And I always hear the trade news from a lopsided perspective. They always talk about how these trades can benefit the team that they like, but will these trades actually benefit the team that receives your player? Does it work for them? And SB was in there. I was in a Bulls live stream earlier. They were talking about trade Wendell Carter Jr. and trade Lauri Markkanen, but obviously these trades have to work. When they were talking about saying trade Lonzo Ball for Lauri Markkanen, does that make sense when you got Jackson Hayes and when you got Steven Adams? Are you going to bring in a third big? Like, does it make sense with what you have there? You got Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram. You got some solid size. Do you need them? Does it work with what you have? Don't know. Let's bring in everybody. Salute, Elder. Thanks for hopping in. We got Sean, Tracy Steele.
Lamont.
Make sure, y'all, if y'all got back feed, make sure you mute your mic if you know you got something going on in the background, just so we can keep the sound clean, because we are streaming on multiple platforms.
Hey, Lamont, I'm not going to stay on long. I just wanted to say salute to you, salute to the panel, and my condolences to the gentleman who passed away.
Oh, man, appreciate that, man.
R.I.P. to that man.
R.I.P. Salute, man. I already know, man. How that feels,
hey, hold up.
No.
Before we go, Lamont, let Elder go first. I've been arguing with this nigga for the last hour about the Lakers.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody's going. It's all perspective and ideas until we see what happens. We got about 48 hours before we really know the real deal. So
let my own go first. I've been arguing. Me and him been going at it for the last hour over texting, bro. Let's go, Elder. Let's go. Come on. Bring it to the square. Let's get it. Come on.
Oh boy.
I've been saying it, and I'm not gonna stop saying it. And y'all gonna have to just see it. I was telling I asked him. I said, "Hey, have you ever had a high ankle sprain? Have you ever had the calf?" Sports. I said, I have had both of those injuries. This is why I'm not concerned. Now, Lamont came on earlier. just a second ago and told you he ain't concerned about the Lakers being healthy. They will be healthy. He just told
they will.
Hold on.
Gotta stay healthy.
Lamont. You think they're gonna be fully healthy?
They will be healthy.
They will.
Okay. Yo, crazy.
He just said that. Let me roll. Again,
go ahead.
You've never had these injuries.
You're right.
You played, and like Lamont played on a high level like I did, you kind of know what's going on. Every time and I told him this earlier, every game that the Lakers win, that literally gives LeBron James like an extra week of rest if he wants it. I tried to give him facts. I said, okay, where were the Lakers when AD went down in the West. Can anybody tell me? Anybody in the room? Where were we at when AD went down in the West?
Y'all was the number 2 seed.
The number 1 seed.
Nah, Jazz was the number 1 seed. They were the 2 seed.
When he went down in the West, we were the 4 seed. Go back and look at it.
No, y'all was the 2 seed.
Go back and look.
What year is this? What years is it?
This year before AD went out.
When AD went down, we were the 4 seed.
No, y'all wasn't. Y'all was the 2 seed, huh? Y'all was fighting with the Jazz for the 1 seed.
Nah, we never fought with the Jazz all year. Remember, the Jazz got out to the little. Yeah, ain't nobody fought with the Jazz for the first seed at all.
Yeah, I think the Clippers had overtook the Lakers.
Remember, they had a little back and forth with the Clippers, and the Clippers would win, and then they go in front of the Lakers, and because they beat the Lakers, they would have the same record, but they would put the Clippers ahead of them because they had the same record, but the Clippers beat them, so they just put the Clippers in third. That's where we were, tied with the Clippers with the record, but considered 4th place because the Clippers had beat us the first game of the year. Where are the Lakers at right now?
Third.
It said third, but when you look at it, we really in the same exact spot. We're in the same exact spot since AD went down.
28-16.
And that's exactly what is the Lakers? Same thing? With the loss tonight?
Yeah, 28-16. Yeah, both of them.
So
hold on. We ain't lost no ground. None. Zero. Zilch, nada. I guarantee you what the Lakers are thinking is if we lose a few games, fine. What their ultimate goal would be is let these guys rest as long as they can rest. And even if we get to the 6th seed, we'll be fine. Yeah. They don't want to go to the 7 just because who wants to be in a play-in game? That's dumb. Right. You don't want to take your chances. So you want to secure the 6th seed. So as long as we win a game here, first off, you get 3 games a week? It's not like these teams are finna. Show me a team in the West besides when Utah did it early in this year, goes on these 6, 7, 8, 9 game runs. Teams ain't doing it. Phoenix had a small one. What's the name of it? Everybody else may win 3, 4 games, and they're gonna lose 2, 3 games. That's just how it happens. That's just what the West do. They beat each other up.
Hey, Elder, my point is this though. Why does it seem like I would probably say mainly LeBron James fans, because that's where you usually come from. Any little adversity hit his team, they just hit the panic button. Like, bro.
That's what
y'all just need to worry about getting help.
Time out. Hold up. Time out. This is my thing. This is what I was telling
y'all. Panic too much.
Hold on. It ain't about panicking.
Do I sound panic?
But that's you. You had a one, but the majority as a whole, they do though.
No, he a Laker.
Time out.
Nah, he a Laker fan.
I know. I said not him. Majority is Lakers fan.
Time out. No, that's not majority. What you're talking about is actually LeBron fans. Real Laker fans? See, I've been a Laker fan since the 70s, bro. Real Lakers fans? We ain't panicking right now.
I said LeBron fans too. I said LeBron.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all you hear is. Hold on. All you hear is. All you hear is, Trey Shooter, put Trey's together in the package. Go get this, play this. I'm like, bro, they don't have to do nothing. Just get healthy. But when the season started, everybody was just saying it was the best team.
I said
they good.
Yeah, they got better. Yeah.
So what's
they gotta stay healthy.
Hold up. Can I ask a couple of questions? Because y'all said they're gonna be healthy. How long LeBron James gonna be out, Lamont?
I said need to get
hold on. This is what's gonna happen.
No. Look,
I'm gonna tell you. Hold on. LeBron James is gonna be fine after 2 weeks. They're gonna hold him out for another one. Hold on. Elder.
Stop.
Hold on. Look. No, Elder, listen. Listen, I know it's a high ankle sprain.
No.
What I'm telling you is this.
Lamont, hold on.
But he won't be. They're going to hold him out another 2 weeks.
Earlier, I said he can come back in 2 weeks if he wants.
He could.
I told him that.
Okay. Now, hold on.
Yeah, he's going to be out for a month.
Hold on. This is not.
That's facts. Hold on. If you hoop before you know you can.
Hold on. He just told me LeBron James going to come back in 2 weeks. He said
no,
if he have to.
No,
hold on.
That's not what I'm saying.
Stop changing it.
I'm saying he's going to be healthy.
Oh my God.
He's going to be healthy in 2 weeks. They're not going to bring him back for a month though.
Oh, so they're not going to bring him back for a month.
I bet, or they may be 3 weeks. I think 3 to 3 weeks.
Okay. So hold on. Let me ask. Hold on.
That's 16 games.
Y'all been cooking. Let me ask some questions. When AD coming back?
Who cares?
In 2 weeks.
No, he won't be back in 2 weeks.
Okay, so this is my thing right here. The Lakers probably lose. This is my thing right here. Let's say the Lakers lose their next 7 to 8 games straight.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
How is not happening?
They're not losing 8 games straight. They're better than that. They're not that bad where they can lose 8 straight.
Bro.
And just
Look at this.
and you're gonna luck up and win a game before then.
Nah, they can't lose this schedule.
Man,
no, they can't. They're not losing 8 straight. They're not gonna lose to Orlando. There's certain teams they're not gonna lose to.
They're not gonna lose to Cleveland.
Hold up. You just said they're not gonna lose, nigga. New Orleans is the worst motherfucking defensive team in the league right now. And they just got their ass beat. They are one of the worst defensive teams in the league.
Sacramento is
yes, the King.
One of them.
Sacramento is the worst.
I say they one of them.
Dallas is worse than them.
One of them.
Doesn't matter. They play D tonight against Stroud.
Okay, this my thing. Let's say LeBron James and AD come back. So what I'm looking at, they're gonna be vying for a play-in spot, right?
No, they're not. No, you're off.
All right, cool.
You're way off, bro. Sorry.
All right, cool.
Vying for a playing spot.
LeBron misses a month. That's 6 games.
I just tried to tell you guys.
So y'all think without LeBron James and AD, they're gonna be the 5th or the 6th seed?
You're only getting 3 games a week. Every single game that the Lakers win, that literally gives LeBron an extra week of rest.
They're not gonna win no games,
if he wants to rest.
Look at the next 10 games.
That's crazy, bro.
I mean, they got Cleveland, like they got Orlando.
So, Anton, what you gonna do once they win a game? How you gonna feel then when they win a game?
I still, bro. This is me personally. I'm looking at like I just told you when we was texting. I see them when hold on. When they get back, they might be vying for a play-in spot. So you mean to tell me they going into the playoff? They gonna have to fight through the play-in spot. They have to fight their way through the Western Conference Finals. They win a chip, and you want to do that with an 18-year a nigga in his 18th season. Hold up. LeBron in his 18th season coming off a high ankle sprain and a weak-minded nigga like AD. And y'all think they gonna win?
Hold on.
Let Elder talk.
Off, bro. By saying they're gonna be vying for a play-in spot, I mean you're saying they're gonna be somewhere between 7 and 10, bro. That's what you're saying, and that's idiotic. That's idiotic.
Hold on, but the thing is, what you're basically saying, Anti, is that
it's not idiotic.
That means every team below them is gonna have. They're gonna have to play astronomically great to shoot up and pass them. All the Lakers got to do right now is just be a 500 team without LeBron.
You capping right now. Hold up. You capping right now. Hold up. You capping right now, Lamont. They start games from the 8th spot. Games away from the being in the 8th spot if they lose.
Yeah. Oh, Anti, stop.
The 8th spot.
Anti. You said to me earlier. Hold on. You said to me earlier that the Lakers lost 6 games in a row. Did you not? Did you not tell me that the Lakers lost 6 games in a row? And you were wrong, right?
They won to the Timberwolves.
I showed you. I sent. Oh, time out. I sent you the schedule. But if you notice, count the W's and count the L's. I sent you 11 games, bro.
Dude, you was talking about, you had LeBron James playing.
Exactly.
You're not
listening. Anti's killing them.
Some of those games LeBron didn't play.
No, he did. LeBron ain't missed no game.
3 of those games I sent you. Go back and look.
LeBron missed one game before that.
Go back and look. At what I sent
you. Before LeBron James got hurt, he ain't missed no games but the one he made before the All-Star game.
You're not listening. I sent you the last 11 games. LeBron missed 3 of those games because I didn't count today's game. He missed 3 of those games. Yes, he did. The one before the All-Star game and the last 2 we lost. That's 3 games.
You talking about them. I'm talking about before that.
Listen, that's the last 11 games. Go count the W's and go count the L's. They were 6 and 5, bro.
LeBron James.
11 games.
They can play 5
with LeBron James.
Not listening.
The last
he missed 3 of them games. AD missed all of them.
Before the injury,
you can play 500 basketball and literally stay where you're at.
Are you talking about before the injury or after the injury?
Bro, both.
No. Before the injury, he only missed 1 game.
Anti, you're not listening. I sent you the last 11 games.
Are you understanding what I'm saying, Elder? When he didn't get hurt.
You're not understanding what I'm saying.
When he got hurt, right? Before he went in the All-Star
that was the last 2 games we lost. That was the last 2 games he lost.
Okay, but he.
And then he missed the game right before the All-Star game. We've only played, 5 games since the All-Star game. So that game would be included in 11, bro. He missed 3 of them games that I sent you. 3.
And y'all won what? Y'all won 1 and lost 2?
No, I'm telling you. He missed 3 of them games. We lost all 3 games. LeBron didn't play. But we only lost 5 out of the last 11 games.
So,
who's going to lead the Lakers to win?
Just tried to tell you that if they go 500, they'll stay where they're at pretty much.
They're not going
they went 500 with LeBron James.
Hold on, but anti, you have to look at like it's the thing is at this point in time right now, there's only maybe 1 or 2 teams in the West that are cruising up the rankings. Like you're banking on teams like the Blazers to pass the Lakers, which we know they're extremely inconsistent. We know the Mavericks, they're playing inconsistent. The Warriors are inconsistent. They'll win a game and lose a game. All of these teams,
hold up, the Warriors are
all of these teams are playing about 500 basketball themselves.
Hold on.
Even the Clippers ain't consistent.
Time out.
The Clippers have the same record.
Hold up, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Now, hold on. Hey, this is my thing, Lamont. Who's in the 8 seed right now, Lamont?
The Mavericks.
Who's in the 7 seed?
The Spurs.
Look. This will answer your question, Anti.
No, who's in the 7 seed?
Look, Anti, hold on. What I'm saying is,
Spurs.
hold on. We're dancing around the real topic. So what is going to take for a team to pass up? It takes winning streaks. The biggest winning streak in the Western Conference right now is 3 games. That's the Phoenix Suns. And they're sitting up the top with the Jazz. All these other teams like the Blazers, they have a 1-game losing streak. The Nuggets are on a 1-game winning streak. The Clippers, you got to go on a winning streak to pass them up. What Elder's saying is these teams are winning and losing games just like the Lakers. If the Lakers go 500, everything is going to pan out and be right there about the same.
Y'all banking on the Lakers going 500. That's the problem.
No, we're not.
If they win 5 games, they're good.
I'm not banking on
Lakers win
5 games.
Hey, Anti, what I'm banking on is this. You play 3 games a week. I'm banking on them winning a game in that week. That's all. And if they do, every game they win like that, that gives LeBron an extra week. If
all them teams
he wants it. If he wants
Lamont, all them teams that y'all talking about right now, they got their all-stars, right? I mean, they got their superstars on their team, right?
Everybody healthy now over there.
And you right, and the Lakers are not. So you mean to tell me with all them teams that's healthy right now in the West Conference, that they gonna lose as many games as the Lakers right now without LeBron James and AD?
You're not listening, Anti.
Nobody's
saying they're gonna lose as many games as the Lakers. But if the Lakers go 2-6 and they go 6-2, they only make up 2 games, bro. They only make up like 2.5 games by doing that. That's it.
Bro, who's leading the Lakers?
That's what we're telling you.
Y'all tripping, dog.
Who's leading the Lakers to wins?
I don't understand this, dog. You mean to tell me? So y'all basically saying LeBron James and AD gonna come back in 3 weeks, right?
No,
3 weeks, right, Lamont?
Say that.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if LeBron wanted to, he could come back in 2 weeks.
And he would be compromised. Why would
he wouldn't.
No, he wouldn't.
You can't. I
100%.
Don't feel that fast.
Yes, you do, man. Hold on, bro.
Hold on.
It takes
come back in 2 weeks.
Hold on. Don't compare your high ankle sprain.
It's not a regular ankle sprain.
Hold on. Don't compare your high ankle sprain with no treatment to LeBron's with cryo, all these technologies, blood platelet treatments. These treat 24/7. Let's not compare it to y'all.
Go give me another player who's came back in 2 weeks from a high ankle sprain.
Hold on. I got you. Hold on. Let me.
Who else has done it?
Hold on.
I've seen players come back and play the next game. I just watched a player do it in the NCAA tournament.
Hey, hold up. That's cool. Hey, let me ask you something, Lamont. Why they still haven't put a date? They still say LeBron James is out indefinitely. They still ain't gonna put a date out yet.
Hold on. They don't have to put no date.
4 weeks.
Get the fuck.
They don't have to.
Bro. Y'all really think LeBron James gonna come back in 2 weeks off a high ankle sprain to be 100%?
Oh, let Sean go. Go ahead, Sean.
I just want to get in here real quick. Hey, so from an injury standpoint, LeBron is the person I'm least worried about.
Thank you.
Because of how he takes care of his body.
he does the dude will sleep in a hyperbaric chamber if he has to, just to try to get healthy. Like that's just who he is. The guy that concerns me more is Anthony Davis because, well, and I'm gonna tell you why, Elder. The reason why it concerns me is because he hurt his Achilles in the finals, and he really did not start the season out well. He was like he was still hurting, and when he went down, when he grabbed his leg, when he got hurt this season, he actually reached down for his Achilles. They're saying it's a calf injury, but I'm more concerned about him and whether or not Achilles injury, similar to what Kevin Durant had a couple years ago before he took Achilles. That's my only.
Not the same.
No, I'm saying I'm not saying it's
very similar.
Saying
no, it's not similar at all.
It's not.
Very similar.
I'm telling y'all, it's not.
It's not the same thing. KD had a calf injury. AD has like basically Achilles like tendonitis basically.
Okay, how long does it take you? How long does it take you to come back?
And that's what I'm saying.
Hold on. Anti, to answer your question, it's a time thing. That's it. And he's been
off for almost a month, right?
He's been off over a month. He's been off over.
Take him to heal.
It's a time thing. That's why.
The longer the better. They just banned Sam.
5 to 10.
That's all they doing.
He'll come back with 5 to 10 games. He'll come back 5 to 10 games to go in the regular season just to get a rhythm, just to get back in a little bit of basketball shape.
So wait. Hold on.
Y'all. Anybody remember?
Wait. We ain't talking about no bubble right now.
What was our record in the bubble?
James wasn't hurt in no bubble.
Trash.
Them 8 games we played, the last 8
games. 2-6 or something?
What was Lakers' record? No,
y'all was 2-6
and 5.
The Lakers were healthy though.
Yeah, they were 3 and 5. It wasn't good.
They was
The
healthy.
Lakers were healthy though.
Okay.
I'm
trying to hold on. Basically, no player at this time of year 100% healthy.
Bro, this is actually, I mean, to be honest, this is better for the Lakers because they really recreating the bubble with what happened last. They all getting rest. LeBron's finna get rested and AD's finna get rest just like they did last year.
James ain't getting no rest, nigga. He's hurt.
Man, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, he can come back in 2 weeks.
He's still getting rest as far as from his body. He's not having to rehab hard.
Think about this, y'all. Same thing in the bubble last year. Lakers were first in the West, right? Hold on. They were first in the West. We had 8 games to go to see who made the playoffs. They went 3 and 5 and still won the West. Second in the NBA, or third. They ended up losing to Toronto in the end. Toronto ended up having a half a game better record than the Lakers in the end because they didn't play as many games as the Lakers. It didn't hurt them, y'all. And they got in the playoffs and did what they did. The key is get to the playoffs healthy. The Lakers are doing what they need to do to get to the playoffs healthy.
Yeah,
they will be
games,
healthy.
Though.
And it's just going to piss all y'all off. It's just going to piss you off.
Y'all saying they will be healthy. Okay.
What?
Hey, Elder.
I'm watching them.
I mean, it's more likely they'll be healthy. Healthy is not the problem. The problem is the skid they might go on while they ban Tam. That's only.
They're not gonna go on a skid, y'all. They're not that bad of a team.
They have one of the hardest upcoming schedules. But I'm saying, I'm not finna just
I would bet that with this team, once they start figuring out how they're gonna play without LeBron and they get some rhythm, I bet that they're gonna go on a 2 to 3 game win streak.
I'll bet anybody can beat anybody. You know what? You know what? Lamont, no, fuck that, Lamont. I'm gonna download Cash App tomorrow. I'm willing to bet you $1,000.
Wait. They were struggling without.
No, don't interrupt me right now. I'm downloading Cash App tomorrow. I'm gonna go put a stack.
Let him talk, bro.
Let him finish. He's gonna lose his money.
I'm gonna go put a stack in my Cash App. You and Elder, you heard me? Either one of y'all make a bet. These next 10 games, I guarantee you the Lakers won't win 3.
Oh, bet. I'll bet that.
Okay, so you want that bet too, Elder? You want that bet too, Elder?
Yeah, I'll take it. I mean, since you're gonna make the election, I'm gonna go ahead and take it.
Cool.
They might beat the Cavs. They might beat the Cavs. Everybody else.
Hold on, wait. The next 10 games is this: the Sixers, the Cavs, the Magic.
We can't win 3.
Hold on, wait. Listen, this is the next 10 games, y'all. The Sixers, the Cavs, the Magic, the Bucks, the Sacramento Kings, the Clippers, the Raptors, the Heat, the Brooklyn Nets, the Knicks, and the
They
Hornets.
they might win 3. They not winning 4.
Nah, there ain't no way in here.
3 is the max. 3 is the max that they win.
Lamont, hey,
they gonna win 3 games.
Hold on, he just said they got to win 3 games.
I'm going to get my
I'm
cash
saying
out tomorrow.
3 is the max. 3 is the max they can win.
I'm going to my bank tomorrow, dog.
Hey, Lamont, can I say something real quick?
Hold on. Time out real quick. I'm going to let you talk, bro. Don't trip if LeBron come back in that games either, because he probably could come back.
Oh, I ain't tripping. Because I think LeBron going to be out 3 to 4 weeks.
Don't trip, bro.
Bro, 3
I'm
games,
not.
Anti. I think you're gonna take. Hey, look, Anti, take that bet back. You finna lose 2
Boy,
G's.
no, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Hey, Anti.
Nah,
Hey,
you should have said 4. You should have said 4, Anti.
You should have said 4.
It don't matter.
They can accidentally win 3 of those games.
Bro, they got 30.
Now that's a tough schedule. That's a tough schedule. Y'all can't act like them as tough
Hold
games.
They got
That's a
30
tough
pieces
schedule.
tonight.
Hold on. Haven't we seen good teams lose to bad teams all the time this year?
Yes, sir.
They got 30 pieces by the Pelicans without Lonzo.
Didn't we see the Knicks? Didn't we see the Knicks beat the Bucks by 20 or 30 points?
The Knicks is not bad.
Hold on, didn't we see the
That's
Cavs?
not even-
Didn't we see the
they're
Cavs
a
beat
playoff
the?
team. What are you
Didn't we see
saying?
the Cavs beat the Nets back to back?
That's early in the season.
Don't matter.
Hold on,
What I'm
I thought you
saying is,
said-
That was
what I'm
early
saying,
in the
bad
season.
teams can
It
beat
can
good
happen.
teams.
Yeah,
when
it can
they
happen.
shoot.
But the likelihood is not like.
Hey, this my thing. Hold up. With them
Bad
teams
teams
that
been
did
coming
that,
down back to
hold up.
earth.
With them teams they did them with the starters in the motherfucking lineup, bro. They didn't do it with role players.
I don't know why y'all are acting like it's so outlandish and to say that the Lakers are more likely to go on a skid. Like, did y'all not?
True.
They were struggling when AD first went
They
down.
think they can walk on water, right? That's
true.
exactly what they think.
Like, it's not outlandish
I'm
to
going-
say that they
the
can.
next
It's
step.
more
hold
likely
up.
that the
Hey,
Lakers go on a
let me
skid
go
than
to
they
the
don't.
bank tomorrow. Let me go ahead and transfer 2,000 into that.
Hey,
No, you
I
just
got
no, you don't got to do all that. Just attach your card to it.
Hey,
You can just put it on there.
Anti,
I ain't attaching.
You can take it off. You can take it off.
That's easy
Hey,
money for
Lamont,
me,
can I
dog.
say something about this, Sean?
Hey, Anti, I don't want to tell you what to do with your money. You grown man, you feel confident.
Trust me. Yes, I'm not.
Hold on.
Got to be 3 games in a row, though.
Just whatever you put
It don't have
on.
to be 3 games. He didn't say 3 games in a row.
Just whatever
That's
you
what he
put on.
said. 3 games in a row.
No, I didn't say 3 games in a row.
No.
I said they
He
got
said
to win
3 games. Kid.
They gotta win 3
out
out
of the next
of
team.
Anti got to be 3
No.
games in a row.
I said no. They got to win 3 out of the next team.
Hey,
I
no,
said
Anti.
that.
Hey, that's a tough bet.
Should've said
Anti.
four.
Hey,
Not a problem.
It's not.
No, they
Orlando,
can win
Sacramento.
3, bro, but they not winning more than 3. You should have said 4.
Hey, whatever.
Sacramento, who's the other back?
Hey, Anti, whatever whatever you. I'm rooting for you to win because but just whatever you're putting on this.
Let me real quick, because I really don't want your money, and you just be giving it to me. You might as well just send that and donate.
Nah. We about to see these next 10 games.
Hold on. You got all these factors into play. You don't know what's going to happen in the next 2 days with the trade and the buyouts. You don't know what's
I don't think y'all getting shit.
That could affect the Raptors.
You have
I don't think y'all getting
Magic,
shit.
Hold on, Anti. Let me finish, bro.
Aaron Gordon's not going to be there with Orlando.
And you're looking at just the Lakers. You forget what the hell happened
Yeah,
with these
Fournier
other
might be gone
teams.
too.
These other teams could get weaker. You don't know if a team. Hey, I'm gonna tell you a team like right now. You don't understand how so many of these owners are financially in trouble, bro. Some of these teams may bail on these players just to get rid of these salaries, bro.
Yes, sir.
There's too many variables involved, and what y'all forget about is the money dictates everything. 80% of these trades are dictated by money, not the players, not to help the team win. I'm sorry, it's just a fact. 80% of trades, they're done because of finances for the team, y'all. And you ain't factoring that, and then you ain't factoring the fact that LeBron could come back, AD could come back, both them niggas could be back.
In 10 games?
Bro, 10 games is 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yes, sir.
What do you only play 3 games a week?
Hey, 10 games. The last game is April 12th. That's the 10th game on April 12th, bro. The New York Knicks. That's a lot of time, bro.
I'm going to my bank tomorrow. Y'all let me know what y'all weeks.
Hey, Elder. Who is going to lead the Lakers, though?
You can't put money on the cash app like you got to do with your card.
What you mean you can't? I thought you could put as much money on it as you want.
But you got to put your card on your bank stuff, too. You can take it off, though.
Somewhere to put it on there, you got to pull it out.
Electronic.
So your account will be attached to it.
Hey, Elder.
I got time. Let me go talk to the bank tomorrow.
Yeah.
You don't got to talk to the bank, man.
You don't have to go, as we tell you don't have to go to the bank.
I'm going to the bank. I go to the bank every day, dog. Deposit.
So you had mentioned So you had mentioned the bubble last year and how the Lakers struggled. I went over here and went on the last based off the last 8 games prior to the actual playoff. And you are correct. They were 3-5, and out of those 5 games that they lost, 1, 2, 3, I believe 4 of those 5 games that they lost, they got blown out, and it wasn't close.
It did. Got beat by double figures. And we so I just wanted to. I know that's kind of past what we're talking about now, but I kind of wanted to say that earlier because that was kind of the discussion, but kind of got out of hand a little bit. But I wanted to bring that to attention. But you were right. I'm trying to help my brother because he don't know basketball. I love it to death. You got it. You have to. But he don't.
I don't know why people is panicking. To me, it don't matter where they seated. They just need to be healthy. But I'm saying it's likely that it's very likely if AD and LeBron don't come back, the team could go on a skid. But they're gonna be fine regardless. I don't care if the Lakers end up being an 8th seed. Whoever's the first, that's bad. That's bad for the 1 seed.
My brother, that's not true. Because you got to understand the way they got that thing set up this year. 7 through 10 has to play in. That's a tournament to get into the playoffs. You don't want to be in that.
I forget about that goof ass play.
Yeah, you don't want to be. You don't want to be in that because
you don't want to do that.
You could be totally healthy and have a bad shooting game, and it is over for you. So the Lakers know they're not going to do anything to fall past 6. I guarantee that.
How does it work for the 7th?
But that play-in tournament is stupid.
I would put my new property up that the Lakers aren't going to do anything to fall past 6. They're not. They're not going to do anything to fall past 6.
I don't think they'll drop to 6.
They're not going to be in that play-in. Now,
for the 7th seed, boys.
This is what I want. I'm going to be honest with you. I would love this. I would love for the Lakers to go ahead and just fall down to 6 and the Clippers stay their punk asses at 3. Oh, I would love that.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
What's the logistics?
Okay.
If they do win, let's say they do only win 4 out of their 10. Where would that place them in the standings?
Anywhere between 6 and 8.
Say it again.
If they win on say they go on a 2, they lose 2 more in a row. Where would that or the 4 out of 10? Like
you have no idea where it's going to place them in the standing because you don't know what the other teams are going to do. You don't have any idea what's going to place them.
No, but I'm saying if the other teams just stay at 500.
That's bro.
The Lakers are 4 out of 10.
That means if you saying 2 games, that just means everybody go up 1 game and.
I said 2. I meant in a 10-game span. If the rest of the team stay at 500 and the Lakers lose 3 out of 10 or 4 out of 10, where would that put them in the standings?
So if these teams go 5-5 and the Lakers go 2-10, is what you telling me? They make up what? 2.5 games? They make up 2.5 games in the standing. That's what they make up.
Yeah. So everybody else would be. Where would that would make the Lakers at 7?
You can look at it now. No, they're in what 3rd? Tied for 3rd.
They are 4 games out.
Look at the schedule and see how many teams are 2 and 3 games behind them. Look and see.
Yeah, I went to the standing. They are 4 games out of the 8 spot.
Well, Aaron Gordon gonna be gone.
They wouldn't even be in the 8 spot.
Hold on, but they 4 games out of the 2 spot.
What they are 4? So you think they're gonna win 4 games?
I'm just saying you can play that game with both going both directions.
How many losses Phoenix got?
13.
No, they're only 2 games, 2.5. Then we got 16 losses.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They got
the Mavs got what?
2 games.
The Mavs got 19.
2 games back.
The Mavs are the 18. They got 19 losses.
And the Mavs is in 18, right? Then the 18.
Y'all are 4 games behind the Mavs.
Hold on, you have to. Yeah, you got to look at their wins too. Because remember, everybody's off. Because so many teams have played a lot less games because of the COVID. And those teams, that's another thing people don't realize. Those teams are going to make all their games up. So a lot of those teams are going to have to play 3 games in 3 nights. A bunch like they'll play a back-to-back, get a night off, play another back-to-back. They're going to be doing stuff like that to make the games up so everybody can get their 72 games. And remember, you had teams like Spurs, the Wizards. Remember, they missed like 6, 7, 8 games. Boston missed 5 games in a row. Remember that? These teams got to make those games up in this little bit of time.
I don't think no team in the West was kind of like ravaged like that. Like Dallas didn't miss no games.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the Spurs were. Remember, the Spurs was right. They missed like 6, 7 games in a row.
They did? They shut their facility down?
Go look at the Spurs. I guarantee you they got like 4 or 5 games less than what everybody else got. I ain't looking at the thing. I'm in the bathroom, but go look. They like 3, 4, 5 games less than what everybody else got. They got ravaged by that. I think Dallas got hit because remember they had the storm in Texas and all that. There's 2, 3 games missed just because of that.
Oh yeah, that ice storm. Yeah, they
nobody
did.
Can get into Dallas. Nobody can get into the state of Texas. It's that's why I said you can look at it and it's hard to really gauge it because you don't know what's going to happen with these teams when they got to make up all these games. Some of these teams' schedules going to get really, really crazy to get all these games in. And that's
you're right. Oh,
that's why I'm saying to you, talking about a 10-game scan, you don't know what no team going to do in this NBA right now in 10 games. The only team that I would bet is going to lose 8 out of them 10 games right now would be the Houston Rockets. And I have a hard time betting that now because they got old boy back, right?
Yeah, it's hard to lose. It's hard to lose 10 games in a row.
Hold on. I mean, you got to think. But and the only team that's on a big time losing streak right now is the Raptors. The Raptors on and the Heat. The Raptors and the Heat are on the 2 biggest losing streaks.
Houston was just in the 20 games.
I thought the Heat's been winning lately. What
the Heat are on a 4-game losing streak.
They're in a 4-game losing streak.
4 games?
Yeah, it happens fast, man.
I think before that,
they lost tonight. Oh yeah, they lost tonight.
And the Raptors are on a 9-game losing streak.
Yeah, that's the longest losing streak right now.
And Pascal Siakam got fined for cussing out his coach.
And I'm gonna tell you this: the Raptors, there's too many players in trade. You see what I'm saying? Remember how the Lakers fell off when LeBron did that with AD, and that's what the Raptors in right now. Everybody's name. I mean, think about it. Powell having the best year of his career, and he talking about being traded. Oh boy, trying to maneuver to
Norman
Powell. Norman Powell, he's having like the best year of his career. And now they got him in trade rumors. It's like nobody knows what's going on in Toronto. That team I wouldn't bet nothing on because they're done. Mentally, those guys are done.
About Nick Nurse.
Because that team way too talented. They just fined their best player $50,000 for yelling at for in the argument. They took 50 stacks from Siakam. He's their best player. 50 stacks from him for getting in the argument.
Hey,
I'm gonna tell you right now, if I was on a team like that, you be trading me. You be trading me. I wouldn't.
Yeah, Nick Nurse,
I'm just gonna be real. You taking 50 to me because me and the coach get into it. Really?
That's on Masai Ujiri's ass.
Oh, we grown men, bro.
He took
the coach can determine fines. If the coach wants to apply a fine, the coach can post.
And he will be.
A coach can fine you? Oh, I
yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. It's up to a certain amount.
He gonna have to fine me the whole year.
It's up to a certain amount. They can't go a certain amount.
That's a max he took from him.
Yeah, that's a big fine for a team fine. That's a humongous fine for a team fine.
I mean, they probably he must have beat that nigga up, dog.
What he did?
Beat that nigga up, dog.
Hold on, y'all. Hey, go one at a time. Y'all go one at a time. Y'all.
He embarrassed him in the fourth quarter. He set him the whole fourth quarter, so they get into that game, which is, I mean, to me, if I'm a coach, I'm gonna check that. If I'm gonna sit the star player in the whole fourth quarter and we lose game, we're gonna lose. He competitive. I'm expecting him to come at me. Now I'm gonna have some answers for him, but I'm expecting him to come at me. I done coached for years, man. I can't think of one scenario where I would have got $50,000, bro. I just can't. I can't think of nothing you could say or do to me that's gonna make me this way. You cross the line and I have to whoop your tail. Now I ain't even thinking about finding you. I'm just trading you for whatever I can get. You that type of cancer. But he didn't hit him. They didn't do all that. It was words. And you find this man $50,000 for words?
Yeah, that's some female shit.
Not 10. Hey, bro, I can't take that. You can't cross the line. I'm gonna smack you on the wrist. Think about it. What's a technical foul? $2,500? Ain't that what a technical foul is?
50,000 is a humongous fine in NBA.
50,000? Oh, I'm going. You better try.
Nigga, that's a humongous fan.
You better first off, you take that 50,000. I ain't playing no more. How about that? You're gonna take a lot more from me then. We're gonna make this thing get real ugly. Boy, ain't no way in hell you doing that to me.
That's why the Warriors are in trade talks with Siakam right now.
Bro, I wouldn't be surprised to see him get traded. You do some shit.
The Warriors are in serious talks right now for him.
What's gonna happen with a motivated Siakam?
The Warriors are eyeing on Bogdan Bogdanovic.
No, they're eyeing Siakam. They are in talks right now.
The Warriors want everybody.
Yeah,
that'd be nice, man. That would be nice.
They want to get rid of
everybody for everybody.
Yeah.
Shit,
They don't want to get rid of Oubre.
It's a
They
lot of
got
talk.
big contracts, man. Contracts they get rid of. Hey, for the right player, Lamont.
Oubre's money comes off their books next year.
This year,
Again,
he's gonna be
for the right player.
Yeah.
Warriors have the
For
highest
right
payroll.
player, again, for the right player, because you were team with them, you motivate you. Player that can help me. I want to keep him. I don't have to. If I want to sign him, I can. Teams want that flexibility. Oubre is who. He's a great defender. He can guard anything 1-3. You know what I'm saying? Really 1 through 4. I want Oubre.
Warriors got the
Because
highest
if he does
payroll.
well for me, I'll re-sign him. If he don't, bye, brother. You see what I'm saying? I'm not giving up a great player unless you give me somebody back like that gives me flexibility. Especially with all these owners crying broke because they losing on them because of COVID. Now you won't.
He said Pascal for Wiggins. They're not trading Wiggins. Wiggins is not going
Pascal
anywhere.
ain't going nowhere either. He's too cheap. Pascal on cheap contract. He's way outplayed his contract. You ain't getting rid of Pascal either.
Yeah, well, they've already extended him. They've already signed him.
Yeah, they extended him. He's not on no cheap contract.
Who? Pascal?
Hitman X said Siakam refused
Yeah,
to
they
check into
extended
the
him
game.
last summer.
Forgive me. Y'all talking about Pascal Siakam, right? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Pascal that plays for Golden State. I thought you were talking about Golden
Oh,
State.
yeah.
Yeah, he's way outplayed his contract. He ain't tradable. You're not trading him. He makes no money and he's well better than you.
What you just say? They said Pascal did what?
What did you
No,
say?
you talking about Eric Pascal. We was talking about Pascal Siakam.
Oh, Pascal.
Yeah, what did Hitman say, Siakam?
He said he said Siakam didn't check into the game when the coach asked him to.
Yeah, it's problems going on with him and the coach. He got fined. So
yeah,
they're going to blow that up because you got to think that team's in a bad situation now because they're not even playing home games. Everybody's frustrated. Remember, Elder was talking about that earlier. How that frustration can start mounting when you can't go home, you can't relax. They playing out of Tampa. You know they can't get no consistency.
Canada.
That's what
they home at though.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they live there. When you live there, you can't go home.
I'm saying you playing in Tampa, Florida. What are you complaining about?
They don't live there.
They don't live.
It's not home though.
Their family is they like
not
the
home,
bro. Their family's in Canada and they can't cross the border. That's why they had to play in Tampa because they can't.
That's like telling somebody.
Order games is basically a way.
That's like me telling you, like, all right, you've been from Louisiana, but they finna pay you more money to be in Dakota. You can't leave.
Man,
you can't go.
Nah, wait, that's not the same, nigga.
No, I'm just saying though. He not at home. That's the whole point.
Nigga ain't been back home, and I don't know how long.
Got me a little side chick, bro.
They went down early.
For the
you may have a brother down there that ain't touched his wife in 2 months, man. Shoot.
But he
hold up, your wife can't come. Hold up, your wife can't leave Canada.
If she do, she got to stay.
Canada borders are shut down, man.
You can't go back and forth.
They got restrictions.
Damn.
You can't go back and forth, bro. So that's what I'm saying. And you
I would have got me a little side chick, made me a little family down there and been straight.
Now, everybody don't think like that though, bro. You got
nigga. She taking all your shit, nigga. Fuck you,
some
man.
people actually love their wife.
Got some more.
She taking your shit, nigga.
You said what?
I was talking to him. I said your wife's gonna take half of your shit, nigga. Go ahead.
But them niggas, they ass know they out there doing that shit today.
Not everyone, bro.
All right, I'm about to say not all of them.
They not all of them.
Some of them.
And they're not all.
Y'all niggas gotta stop.
They're not doing that, damn.
Hey, Elder know this. Elder, because Elder, Elder can be a testament to this too. Is like once you get to that level, that kind of get old. It kind of get played out.
It get old now, man. It's old now.
I know what I'm saying is when it's thrown in front of you for year after year after year, it now is not as hyped up as it used to be. Like it.
Let me tell you,
it's a lot of players that don't really care about that no more.
And let me tell you, and they're gonna lose their fortunes by doing it, and it ain't worth it. These women they're serious about it. They're trophy wife. We're gonna do everything you want me to do, but as soon as they have that child, you guaranteed that child support, and you guaranteed half. So go out there and with these Instagram thoughts and all that bullshit, you're gonna lose half. Like old boy, what's that stupid? That Minnesota cat, he's stupid as hell. He just signed that contract. Old girl finna get half that shit and child support on top of that. I promise you, she is.
From Malik Beasley.
Yeah, his annuities. She's finna get that nigga's retirement. at his 401k. I got a brother that just went through this.
They don't understand he ain't married, bro. I already know.
He's been once you had them children, that shit don't. You don't even gotta have a marriage certificate for these women to get this money. You don't.
Ask Aiden Peterson, nigga, where his money went to.
Ain't worth it. Think about it. You been in the league all this time. Now all of a sudden you finally get that big payday. You making 100 mil, 200 mil, and then just because some pussy, you got to give half that up for the rest of your life.
That little nut ain't worth it, boy. It's worth that meal.
The guys realize so that's what I'm saying. So think about it. You right now, think you got 2 or 3 guys on the team that ain't touched their wives in that long, or their woman in that long of a time, or they're gonna be really frustrated.
And then another thing you got to understand too is that
all it is FaceTime. FaceTime get over real quick.
Yep. That's what I was just saying. Another thing you got to think they ain't seeing their kids, and then you got to think about this though. The sad chick ain't worth your wife, bro. Your wife for a reason, bro.
Hey, I thought it would be professional, fight through and get like an 7th or 8th seed. I told everybody at the beginning of the year Toronto gonna drop, but I thought they just so talented. I said they're gonna mess around and still make the playoffs. But shoot, right now they done, bro. Toronto's toast. They are toast. They're mentally toast. And I don't care how good you are.
Hey, why? I was about to ask why he didn't check into the game.
They got some internal stuff going on. And again,
it's internal problems going on over there.
Probably frustrated. Everybody's on the trade.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm guessing that figures out.
Everybody's been mentioning rumors, man. Everybody's been mentioning rumors in trust. Like, what the hell?
Yep. I didn't. They got Kyle Lowry, Norman Powell, Siakam. They all in trade.
Everyone's in trade.
Only guy I heard name in trade is Van Fleet. He the only one.
Yeah, because he just got money. He got a new contract.
Yeah, he got.
Yeah, he just got his new contract.
Guy, he been in trade talks. Everybody trying to get him. Everybody down there that can play been in trade talks. Everybody. So that's frustrating, man. You going out there busting your tail, and next thing you may get that call. Next thing you know, you're in Tampa, but now you got to go to Cleveland, Minnesota. You don't know where you're going to end up going. They are.
Hey, speaking of the East, man, let me ask you guys something. What do you got? What do you guys think about the?
Because you got to understand, these owners, their main business is not sports. They always have something else. There's very few owners that their number one thing is sports. Kind of like the Lakers. That's their number one thing is sports. That's it. But most owners, they got other stuff that got them their money. And they need to keep that revenue coming in. And a lot of these, they in restaurant business or casinos or anything like that, hand fist.
They in the restaurant business, boy, you got hit.
All them players.
You got hit during the pandemic. You was in the restaurant business, boy.
No, not if you were smart. Not if you were smart.
What you mean smart?
Hey,
because the smart businesses quickly transferred into home
said
delivery.
Restaurant.
Restaurants.
Restaurant.
I've seen restaurants thriving bigger than what they have been before if you do it right.
You talking about upscale restaurants?
But Houston,
yes, upscale restaurants can too.
Nigga, I'm talking about steakhouse.
That's the problem.
That's not. No. It's steakhouses down here doing home deliveries right to your door. And they set the meal up with a candlelight dinner and everything. They pay they do it, but you got to adapt. If you ain't smart,
he's in trouble financially. He in trouble financially. Houston over this. Only reason Harden that 50 mil is because he realized if I keep the superstar, that's avenue, that's revenue coming in. Harden will bring in money. So I can pay money to keep money to come in. I got to have a draw to bring money in. That's the only reason he got offered that. Look at him, that team, and see who they offered. I mean, that ridiculous offer they offered away. Hell no, I'm not going to sign for that.
You talking about
the guard depot. And I'm going to tell you now.
Oh, yeah, Oladipo, yeah.
The only reason Houston offered that, hoping that he would be dumb and say he would do it so they could trade him.
They can trade him, yeah. That's what I said, too.
That's all they was going to do.
I said the same thing. I said they thought they was slick.
They thought they was slick. Oh, they were like, nah. And people were like, well, he's going to work. It doesn't matter what his word. He gets to control the narrative. That guy was only offering that money so he can get him locked in. Hey, I got him. He's locked in for the next 3 years. Oh, I'll take it.
That was slick, though. They tried. They did try.
These players ain't dumb, though. People get mad, but you better thank LeBron James. You better thank CP3. These are the cats that changed the game when it came to that stuff. Them cats got these guys. These guys weren't thinking like that before. They've been like, what? You turned 20 million? What? You turned off 50 million? That brothers would have took that. stupidly and been locked down in a bad place. Van Fleet, I bet he wish he'd have waited a little bit right now.
Let you know right now, nigga. If I was in,
Hey, but you know what? When you are undersized guard, you got to take that money though.
Got to.
I agree.
You got to, because he's an undersized guard.
If I was Van, I would.
These niggas got that chip on their shoulder.
Here's the key too. They're trying to make it his team. They're trying to get rid of Kyle Lowry. He finna be the man. You know what I'm saying? So think about it. See, I can Lowry on the block. Van Fleet's gonna be the man in Toronto. He is literally gonna be his team. So now I don't know how great he is, but I mean, you can't be mad. He's in a good situation. And think about it. If that's your best player on your team and you paying him $20 million a year, because then you're on a 4-year 80, he's on a 4-year 80, something like that. 4-year 85, whatever. On a max deal, and that's the best guy on your team. That's how people be trying to save money. That's how they be trying to save money.
Oh, look at Samurai Beach Warrior with that crazy talk.
Why do you always want to make Phil Jackson relevant, man?
Him and LeBron, that shit would never happen. No way. That nigga's done coaching. He got his bag. He got his bag from New York. Nigga ain't gonna touch a basketball court.
Who?
Phil Jackson.
Man, Phil ain't think about the NBA.
Phil can barely even walk now.
Yeah,
he don't give no fuck about that shit.
Man. Phil ain't thinking about the NBA, man. He ain't healthy. He ain't nothing. Phil ain't thinking about the NBA. Yeah. So he trying to get Phil trying to tell you, boy, we're gonna play 82 games. I'm only gonna show up for 25 of them. I ain't doing no back to back. I need a prize. I need $1 crazy. Phil staying out there in Montana, bro. Do your thing. His days is done. He's one of the greatest.
Phil is not always the answer either. He's not always the answer because he's not the answer.
So, you still got the Lakers winning the chip this year?
I'm gonna keep saying what I've been saying from the beginning. If the Lakers are healthy, yes. There's not a team in the NBA. There's not a team healthy in the NBA that scares me. If the Lakers are healthy, not one, not even Brooklyn. They don't scare me. Now I'm gonna take this. I've been saying this too. Because in the beginning, I heard old boy wanted to go to Brooklyn. What's his name? The big center from Cleveland. I heard he wanted to go to Brooklyn. I heard he had said it publicly and everything. But now they're trying to say that because the Lakers can guarantee him a starting position, that he wants to go to LA. And see, that makes sense to me though.
I heard he don't want to go to LA.
That's a lie.
He's in LA, the biggest market. He's gonna start with some of the best players in the world, one of the best passers in the world. He gonna shine. And people forget this. And people forget that Drummond, he sounds like he's been around forever, but Drummond's only 27, man. He's only 27 years old. This is probably one of his last chances to get a real big contract. So Drummond, I gotta look at. I could go to Brooklyn and maybe make $2 or $3 extra $1 million right now and get a chance to win. But what's Brooklyn can't pay me no real big. They can't. They already got 3 max players. They're not paying me, what I need. Now the Lakers can do that. Or I can go to the Lakers, start, play well, and another team can do that. Y'all got to look beyond. The money dictates, man. I'm telling you, the money be dictating.
Right.
So that's why I think he flipped scripts and said, no, I think it'd be better for me to go to LA.
Hey, Elder, so let's talk like hypothetically speaking. So say if like Drummond do go to Brooklyn, whatever, in the buyout. If LaMarcus Aldridge get bought out, would that be a good plan B?
No.
If Drummond or nothing.
If Drummond get bought out, bro, he's not going to the Nets. He's gonna go to the Wizards before he goes to the Nets, bro.
Why would he go to the Wizards?
He's not going to the Wizards
for the money, bro.
If he get bought out, anybody who get bought out going to a contender.
Fellas, listen, fellas, please. The man is on a $28 million contract right now, and he's finna get bought out. You're not finna go to the damn Wizards for a couple million extra.
Yeah, anybody who get bought out going to a contender, bro. Anybody who get bought out going to a contender.
Yes, and you gotta understand, he's on a contract year. These next 4 years is gonna make or break him. This is his career. He's got to go to a place that will showcase his talent and give him the maximum opportunity to make this money right now. Because think about it. Remember, everybody loaded up They got their books cleared. All these teams got a bunch of money next year, but the players jacked them because all the big time players, they already signed.
Mm-hmm.
So you got all these teams with all this money and nobody to sign. And you telling me when you look out there, if Drummond played the way he's been playing, 18 points, 13 rebounds, you're not going to give him a max deal? When you got all this money, you ain't got nobody else to spend it on? Drummond knows that. But he's got to look and say, where's the best place I can go that's going to give me that best opportunity for them teams to give me that money? I go to Brooklyn, I got to play with DeAndre Jordan. I got to play with the young guy Claxton. I got to play. You see what I'm saying? Where am I going to shine?
But
he's just a role player for.
But and Drummond has the shake. Drummond has the shake. There's this thing going around the league that he puts up empty stats and his team just loses. So by him getting on the Lakers, he can show that he can affect winning and still put up them same numbers. So he can kind of kill two birds with one stone real quick by joining the Lakers.
But we got to also consider this though.
Lamont, he got a third bird.
Go ahead.
Remember,
What's that?
He's been portrayed as having a bad attitude too.
Yeah,
he's been portrayed as that. You go to LA, get it done, win. Somebody, even if it ain't LA, because LA may do it, y'all. LA with AD. He's 27. They may give it, but even if they don't, they're gonna give him the best chance to get that money. That's why Trez went to LA, y'all. That's why he went.
But we got to consider this too, though. If he do come to the Lakers and it do look true that he only put up inside, he don't affect the team because he got to come here and ball. Because if he don't come in the ball, the Lakers are under a big microscope, so that's gonna look bad if he don't ball.
Have you watched Drummond play?
Yes, all the time. I know Drummond good.
Bro, that with LeBron, he gonna ball out, bro. He gonna ball out. Then having him, I couldn't even imagine having him and AD on the court, bro.
Yeah, that's if that happens,
they are going. Yeah, the Lakers, they get Drummond, bro. The whole league scared. That's what they do. They trying to make sure the Lakers don't get Drummond. They know it's over then.
But even without Drummond, the Lakers healthy, I still had them winning anyway. I had them in the Nets going to the finals and the Lakers winning anyway.
But I agree without Drummond because AD is still that good of a big man. We still win without Drummond. But boy, we get Drummond. Because one thing Drummond will do for us, he don't got to score a ton of points. He's still gonna get the 14 to 18 points, but he's gonna get 13, 15, 18 rebounds. Bro, he is an incredible rebounder. And the way the Lakers gobble up so much, and then his basket's gonna be easy. He ain't gotta work for baskets now. His stuff gonna be dump off, alley-oops, simple stuff. And LeBron gonna showcase him. That's what LeBron do. He gonna showcase that booker to help get paid.
Right.
You look how about asking. Now Trez are down all at the board.
Mm-hmm.
It's right. Balling out. Trez finna get paid, but the key is he finna get paid where he wants to get paid. Because he got that opt-out clause, that trade clause, he can decide where he go. So Team Toronto called, I ain't interested. Nope. Cleveland called, nope, I ain't interested. Charlotte called, nope, I ain't interested. Philly called, I may want to go to Philly. You see what I'm saying? Trez control. Mm-hmm. So all they doing is fielding offers and presenting them to Trez. Because the Lakers already knew when they brought him in, we can't resign him next year. The way the contract is structured, the way that with the for him a certain percentage over what they're paying him this year. He make it 9.8. He can only make 11. Regardless, the teams can offer him max. Lakers knew they weren't going to re-sign Trez after that.
Yeah, they got him for this year to retool the team, and the Lakers got better than they did last year.
Bro, that's it. And Trez knew he wasn't staying with the Lakers, but he was going to come here, win a chip, be showcased, and go get his money where he wanted it. See, on the market, Charlotte, he didn't want to go to Charlotte. He didn't want to go to Charlotte.
He wants to stay home. Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't know where home is for Trez. I don't even know where he's from. But at the
end of the day, he was already home in LA.
North Carolina.
Yeah,
he's from where?
He's from Tarboro, North Carolina.
From North Carolina. So I don't know where he wants to go. But at the end of the day, with them offering him that contract, something said to him, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be out. Because think about it, people forget, if Trez take that contract from Charlotte, they don't get to sign Gordon Hayward then. They don't have the money. They gave it to Trez. I don't know how good that team is, even with LaMelo Ball, if they got Trez instead of Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, people underrated that move for Gordon Hayward too. I even underrated the move at first. I said I can't believe he got all that money.
He balling, but I wouldn't have gave him $30 million.
But it's Charlotte. You have to. When you're in a situation like that, you have to overpay for people to come in.
You're right.
You have to.
But at the end of the day, Trez controls where he goes now. And then you got all these teams that's got all no give it to.
Mm-hmm.
This Kawhi.
Oh no, your signal cutting out, Elder. Yeah,
I thought it was mine. I thought it was my signal messing up.
Oh, y'all can't hear me? Y'all can't hear me?
You good now? You good now? But it's breaking up.
Yeah. Kawhi has to go back to the Clippers. He has to. So the team,
I don't think he's
they don't major free agents out there. Trez is finna get paid by somebody, and he gonna get to choose where he get paid at. He gonna opt out, and then he gonna take the deal he wants, or somebody gonna offer that deal now, and Trez gonna go ahead and take it. Because that deal, if he goes to the trade, I guarantee it. Because they can't do it now. That's the behind the scenes where he says, "I'm opting out," and then y'all gonna offer me this contract, and they're gonna have that guaranteed. That's the only way Trez agrees to a trade. The whole thing to bring him to LA was get him this money. The Lakers knew they couldn't give it to him, but we're gonna get you paid, Trez, and you're gonna control where you go. Take this smaller deal now, get your money later, and go where you want to go. I would have much rather done that too. I'd take $10 million to stay in LA for one more year, and then give me 125, maybe 150 million for 4 years wherever else I go.
Yeah.
Or if they trade, now Lamont, you help me. If they trade for him, they can give him 5 years then, right?
Yeah.
No, they can't. They can't.
Well, they can't. They don't have his bird rights.
The trade gives the bird rights.
No, the Lakers don't have his bird rights because you have to be with a team 3 years for that team to get bird rights.
So the max any team can give him is 4 years in, right?
It's 4 years.
4 years.
So even in that, like Charlotte gave.
Yeah, because what Charlotte offered him again?
Somebody made somebody.
Charlotte only offer him. They could only offer him 4 years.
But I said, what did Charlotte offer him before? What did he turn down again?
4 years. From what we heard, I never officially saw any of this, but it was 4 years.
They didn't really release the details to the contract.
Yeah, from what we was hearing behind the scenes, it was 4 years, 100 mil. So that's 25 million a year.
Yeah, it was like a Draymond Green type of deal.
Draymond Greenish. Okay, yeah.
So with the money on the table, and you think Trez is the one of the difference makers, you can offer him 30 million. That still ain't a max deal.
Yeah,
and he's 27. Trez 27.
I think it's gonna be a couple teams that definitely, like you said, it's a lot of teams with a lot of money to spend. A lot of people gonna be getting overpaid.
Hey, Lamont, am I mistaken? Ain't it 16 teams that's got a bunch of money next year that got the caps free for next year?
It's gonna be a lot of teams with cap because there's a lot of expired contracts out there. A lot of big.
I think it was 16 out of the 30 teams got money, y'all.
What you gonna say, Sean?
Teams is gonna pay him big bank.
The only issue is it's projected right now that the cap may come down because of the lost revenues with empty stadiums and things of that nature. So they're saying right now they're not sure how many teams they're going to have cap space. Right now, only 2 teams are really guaranteed to have cap spaces based on how they had their roster set up. But it could be more depending on where the cap hits, where the cap goes next year.
Yeah, it could go down. But I think a lot of players would. Go ahead, Elder. You go ahead. I'll
tell you this, man. Saying that you're gonna see a fire sale go on in the next couple of days, man. Watch, because teams are gonna make sure. I can't win. It's stupid for you not to make sure you got cap space for next year. If you're not a team knowing that I got a great chance to win this year, why would you not get rid of contracts that gonna make sure you have cap space this year? It just don't make no sense.
And then there's going to be a lot of players who are going to sign shorter contracts, knowing that the new money going to come. Because when everything get back normal, the salary cap going to go back too. So a lot of players you might see a lot of 2-1 contracts, or maybe a 1-and-1 contract just to get in and out, get their money, then get the bigger contract the next year.
Right.
Yeah. And see, teams hate them. If you notice, not a ton of teams are doing those 2-and-1 deals like Trez got, because it gives too much power to the player. You can put him in an exemption or something like that, but that player literally has a no trade clause now. He has an opt-out clause, so
it's hard to trade him.
Yeah, and teams like they don't want to give up that flexibility just to get that player for that 1 year, and you ain't guaranteeing nothing.
Only the top tier guys can really get those. The top of the top.
Yeah.
You don't really see too many like Trez. I think Trez was lucky to get that type of deal.
He only got that because of LeBron. Let's keep it. They only got that because of LeBron. If it wasn't for LB and us winning the championship, being in that position, he wouldn't have got that. That's the only reason Serge got it too. Because Serge got the same deal in what's the name, didn't he? For the Clippers.
The Clippers, yeah.
Serge got the same deal for the Clippers. But I mean, this gonna be crazy. I can't wait.
Kawhi over there trying to make Toronto West.
I can't wait to see what happens on Friday. Friday morning will tell us a whole bunch because that's the day when the buyout. That's when the buyouts start, right, Lamont?
Friday.
Buyouts about to start, and
negotiate.
That's when the buyouts about to start.
The trade deadline is.
And what I'm hearing, from what I'm hearing, this trade deadline is not going to be as eventful as everybody's hyping it up to be. It's not. Not many moves are going to be made. Like we keep talking about the Lowrys and stuff. It's going to be more buyouts than anything. JJ Redick, I'm hearing he's going to get bought out. Same with Aldridge.
He going to Boston. Then he going to Boston.
The only player that I know for sure is going to get moved with certainty is Oladipo.
I was going to say I think Aaron Gordon might get moved for sure too. He just publicly requested a trade now.
Yeah, but that don't guarantee it. They can move him in the offseason.
They got a lot of money.
Really watch for Thursday in terms of dictating the market are Toronto and Orlando. Like, not going to be a lot of big plays.
They got a lot of the people want. But teams ain't trying to commit that, like what old boys said, because that do make sense. Teams ain't trying to commit to that money because on trade, you committing the money. And they ain't trying to commit to that money, not knowing what the salary cap going to be next year. So they saying, look, I take my chances. I got what I got. If something on the buyout, hopefully they want to come to me. If not, I ain't going to commit to that money and not win.
Right. And if you're a team that has an owner that does not want to pay in the luxury tax, you're going to
ain't going to happen.
About taking on huge contracts.
People say, why would you do the buyout? Again, these owners don't have the money. The buyout saves the money. It still saves the money. They still going to save
because they can stretch the money out. They can stretch that money out for years.
Yeah, they can stretch it out.
Provision and buy you out in a lot of cases.
And it's going to be less money too.
Lamont, even not to overchange the subject, but you was right about the Lonzo thing. The reason I'm telling you why Lonzo is not going to be moved because a lot of teams thinking like this. Why would I know you want a young player in the first, but why would I overpay for you? And obviously you kind of don't love this dude, and we could just
offer you when you
give somehow on the match sheet where I know you're not gonna pay for him. And I could get him and add to the roster without losing something. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying right now. They'll get pennies on the dollar if they trade him now because the team they can be like, look, you can either take this or we just gonna offer him in the offseason. So the thing is, what they need to do is they need to get crafty. And they need to work out a sign and trade in the offseason where they know they can get more bang for their buck. That's really the only way they're going to give out. Or just keep them. Because, again, keeping them is another good option. Just keep them.
Because I knew it was like that. I was saying before. I said I knew it was like that when the Bulls offered Satoransky and only 1 second round pick. I said, yeah, that's the case. That's what they mindset thinking like.
But with that sign and trade,
that's a low ball offer.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
That's a very low ball offer. But on the signing trade, too, now you're at the mercy of the player because they get to determine that. They don't have to agree to that.
They don't have to. But the thing is, again, they can because there are going to be some teams that want him that may need to unload cap space to bring him over there. Like if he wants to choose, let's say he wants to go back to LA and he wants to play with the Clippers. Well, the Clippers may need to unload cap. And they'll do the Clippers a favor by taking some cap. Maybe it might cost them. Who's the white guy? I forgot his name.
Zubac.
Not Zubac. The guard.
Kennard.
Well, what I'm saying is they may have to take a player like that in return, but they'll get who they want in Lonzo. So they clear cap space. They get who they want. So you're doing them a favor. So and you also do the player a favor because he's going back to LA. We all know he wants to go to LA. So that's how you can finesse deals.
I don't see what's name them though ever want to take Luke Kennard in with the contract he just signed.
No, I don't think they will. I'm just saying. I'm just giving an example. Yeah.
I know
that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work because they're not.
I just have to ask because people always talk about it. What's the chance of him going to Charlotte with his brother? What do you have to do? I don't see it.
It's very slim to none. It's not realistic. That's just again, y'all. This is
I don't see
it happening.
I don't see it though. A lot of people keep pushing the issue, but I say I don't see it.
No, that's
it's fantasy talk right there.
That's crazy.
Just go with simulate it on 2K if you really want to see it that bad. It's not.
That's the only thing. That's the only way they're gonna get it.
It's the only thing.
It's not realistic.
It's
and they get mad at me for just saying that's not realistic. But y'all, I was like, even with him being a restricted free agent, he still doesn't really control where he goes. Because at the end of the day, New Orleans can be like, we match it, and now you're stuck in New Orleans for another 4 years.
Right.
So it's just like
the only way New Orleans wouldn't match a deal for him is if a team put in a poison pill in his contract.
Well, he can't get the poison pill. He can't get that.
No, he can't. No, he can't. No, he can't. If they do a 4-year deal and the deal's $80 million, but the first 2 years of the deal is $30 million, the remaining is $50 million. That's considered a poison pill for a lot of teams, and a lot of teams don't want to be tied to that. So a team could hypothetically do it. Will they? Probably not for Lonzo, but they could if they thought New Orleans would want to match a deal for him.
And I get what you're saying. I thought that was different than what the poison pill is.
No. It's just a way for a team to basically make it difficult for the team to re-sign restricted free agents.
Yeah, it's a dirty game like that.
Yeah, it's Tyler Johnson
But
has
again,
a
though,
deal like that.
and I'm gonna tell you like where it's gonna hurt the Lakers when it comes to THT, because I think a team is gonna do that with him, and you can justify it, right? Because he's so young, and you do that when you say, well, when he gets to this age, he'll be worth that kind of money. We project him to be this type of player. So in 2 years, what they're going to give him, we project him to be an all-star.
Yeah, but
like
Elder
can offer him like $10 million, right? They can offer him $10 million.
Yeah,
and then,
but Elder, I'm not gonna lie. I think Tucker. I don't know if he's breaking up or he stopped. I can't tell. Elder breaking up.
I ain't talking. I'm listening.
Oh no, I thought you was breaking up. No, I said the only problem with Tucker though. Do you believe like if you don't go to a situation where he like really can showcase his game? Of like, let me say like a Jordan Clarkson, he flourishing in Utah because they put him in a situation where he can really flourish his game. He got the ultimate. I ain't gonna say goes away get the ultimate green light like a Jordan Clarkson got. Do you think he'll flourish more, or you think that if he go to a situation like that?
You talking about PJ Tucker?
No,
Taylor Horton-Tucker.
Taylor Horton-Tucker. Taylor Horton-Tucker, man, he's got to be in a situation where they're gonna let him flow because he got to have that ball in his hand and he got to make moves. But he also needs to be with it to me. Because he can handle it, but he ain't no pure point guard. He can pass, but he's not a pure point guard. He needs to be on a team like that where you can have a really good floor general too. But somebody gonna let him go. He's really a two. He's really a two guard. You know, he's really a two guard at 6'4" with them long arms. So you're gonna need a really good point guard in there, and then you're gonna need big guys that can shoot because you need the space. You need the floor spaced out for him. You can't have a big man in there clogging up the lane for him. He needs to be able to maneuver, spin, do all that stuff. And I think he can be a player. I mean, he got to get his shot selection down and his, stuff up. But he's 20, man. He just turned 22 like a few weeks ago. So he's so young, and he's from Chicago. You know he's tough. I like Taylor Horton-Tucker. I do.
Yes, sir. From the city.
I hope we don't lose him. I really don't. He can.
I think he might be gone. Though I ain't gonna lie. He might want to spread his wings.
THT gonna get that bag.
Now it's gonna take like somebody saying, okay, you get 10 mil for this year, 10 mil for this year, and then after that, we're gonna pay you 20 mil and 20 mil. It's gonna take that type of deal for Taylor Horton-Tucker to be gone, and then somebody look and say, Horton-Tucker got a $60 million, a 4-year, $60 million deal. That's 15 a year. The Lakers can afford the first 2 years, but they can't afford the last 4. The last 2. Right. It's gonna have to take a deal like that. And if I'm a team, I would take a chance on him like that. I think he's that good. I think he's that good. Because in the worst case scenario, I may try to trade him if he say he flops or something like that. Nah, I just try to trade him, and I would make that third and fourth year in a position where it's a tradable type of contract, like maybe $15 million. So you can't do him like 30, so he get a 4-year, $50 million deal. I would
You don't want to do him like how they did Cal Kuzma and wait till his value get too low and wait too late to trade him. So get him out of value high.
Kuzma value is really not low.
But it dropped though. It dropped from what it was though.
Not really because what people understand, Kuzma couldn't be traded. He was way above what he was making. He was a late first round pick. He was only making like a couple $1 million, y'all. So you can't get nothing back for $2 million for a guy like Kuzma. You would lose. So he couldn't even be traded.
Right.
Yeah, it's hard to trade guys when they don't sign that extension yet.
No, his value wasn't bad. He still had that value. Like now, wait till Kuzma contract kick in next year. You're going to see a ton of teams still trying to pry Kuzma from the Lakers.
Yeah.
He ain't making no money. $2 million in the NBA. And people see him as a starter, and they got a lot with teams. He's 6'9", shoot the ball, and defense gonna be a ton of teams trying to get Kuzma from the Lakers. A ton of teams.
Yeah, I can see it. Hey, Sean, you think he gonna get Oladipo or not?
Kuzma has a really good contract too.
He did a nigga.
I think it's a chance.
It's a team friendly. It's a team friendly contract.
Yeah.
But see, here's the problem. Y'all don't know what happened behind the scenes. Listen to Kuzma really close.
Mm-hmm.
He's made it.
Say it again, Elder. You tripped out.
Hold on, you cut out. You cut out, Elder. Say that again.
Oh, I'm here. Can you hear me? Kuzma said he made it really clear. He said, I want to stay in LA. And I'll do whatever it takes for me to stay in LA. And all he's done is prove it. They say, go out and play better D. He's been working on his defense. Go do this. He's been doing all that. So if the Lakers were to actually trade Kuzma, I'm telling you, it would be the worst PR thing they could do. And then he took that contract, and the players in the league, they hot at Kuzma because he's worth so much more than that. They mad that he took that contract. But Kuzma said, bump you. I know other guys are going to do this, but this is where I want to be. So if it's going to take me taking 12 instead of going somewhere else making 25, I'm going to stay here and do the 12. And Kuzma, watch. He's going to get into acting. He's going to get into fashion. He's going to make his money off the court.
He's making a lot of money off IG and his clothing brand.
And Elder, I can see why other players were mad because that can recalibrate their value for their same role that he's in.
Absolutely. I know. I understand why they're upset. But Kuzma made a decision. He wants to stay in LA. So the Lakers literally can't even trade Kuzma, bro. You would be like the dirtiest team in the league to trade him right now. You just would. He's done everything you asked him to do. He took a major pay to stay with you. So they're not finna trade. That's why KCP on the block. He's the only long-term contract that the Lakers even have, and Gasol, because it's 2 years, that they can even trade. That's why those guys are on the block. Nobody else.
And they can't afford bad PR because, Boston, with all they did to players, they can't get nobody.
That stuff happens, bro. You talking those second tier, third tier players that you need to win championships. They would never come to LA again. They would never come to LA. Hear that kind of stuff. That
is true.
See, that's the Clippers.
That's what I think.
That's what Clippers screwed. They screwed themselves when they traded Blake like that.
Yep.
They did. Players don't want to go to the Clippers. I mean, they only got Paul George because, oh boy. You see what I'm saying? And look,
they had to move mountains to get him. They had to move a mountain to get him.
Paul George better watch himself. He better watch himself. Because let Kawhi mess around and leave. They're going to ship Paul George too. Watch. What team ain't going to take Paul George? He locked up for 5 years. Who ain't going to take him?
Quiet is kept with the Clippers and Boston doing players dirty like that. Even though I'm a Heat fan, the Heat kind of sort of did that. They lowballed Wade and they kind of did Bosh kind of dirty. So as a Heat fan, I never really expected us to get nobody. So us seeing
they gave Bosh the bag on his way.
I'm about to say they gave Bosh the bag on his way.
That was. You got to remember the stage. Houston,
he wasn't even playing as good.
And then they overplayed him.
And they didn't lowball Wade.
No. Y'all forgot about Bosh.
Houston was trying to get him, so they overpaid him to keep him. That's what happened, guys.
Yeah,
that wasn't just because Bosh is Bosh.
But
everybody else was too.
Yes, they did. When Wade went off to
they
Chicago,
they didn't lowball. They didn't lowball Wade. What they told Wade was, "We're trying to go out and sign a big time free agent in 2016. We need you to wait." And Wade was not happy with that. That's why Wade.
Bro, they gave that money to Hassan.
No, they were trying to get a big-time free agent in 2016 . They were when the TV
money Wade his money, bro.
They were trying to pay Wade after they signed a free agent off the market.
That was the year KD was a free agent, right?
Yes, that was 2016. That's when the TV money kicked up and they had the salary cap spike. But they didn't lowball Wade. They just said we need you to wait. And Wade wasn't happy because he felt he had been doing everything for the franchise over time, and he wanted to get one last big paycheck before he retired.
Where did that money end up going, though?
You see Kobe going out making what
he
was making.
D-Wade,
he wasn't happy about that.
D-Wade, because they offered D-Wade the money, but by the time they offered him the money, the milk was already sour, and he was like, "No, I'm good. I'm gone. I don't want it." And if you don't believe it, watch. He was on the athlete interview. He explained it. He literally said they offered me the money I wanted, but by the time they offered it to me, I didn't want it no more. I was gone. My pride and ego got in the way.
Right, they were asking him to make a business decision because they wanted to get a big time free agent because they were trying to get back in the championship contention.
I'm not mad at Wade doing that show because you kind of took pay cuts.
Wade took a
they
pay
did.
cut when Dwayne Wade and them came out when
No, Sean, they did lowball. He said they lowballed him at the first offer. Then they lowballed him the first offer. Then the second time they got it right, but they told him like wait.
Yeah, but they were trying to tell him to wait because again, if they sign him, they don't have the free money to sign someone free off the street. They were trying to meet with Durant. They met with Gordon Hayward, and they were trying to get a big time free agent in. And then they were going to take care of Wade afterwards because again, they had Wade's bird right, so they could exceed the cap to re-sign Wade at a certain price. But
I think Kobe had just got his legacy contract at that point, right?
In their cap space.
Kobe had recently got his legacy contract at that point, right? Or was he already?
That 2 years, $50 million. Yeah, that was in 2014.
Yeah, so that was kind of a thing at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but no, it's like you said with the free agent market and looking around with everything that's going on. Like I said, I do think it's probably going to be a lot of buyouts, but I think it's going to be at least one or two moves. It might not be as crazy as we used to at the trading line, but I think I could see at least one or two, three players move because a lot of teams going to hit that panic button. You know, we done all seen it before. A lot of teams hit that panic button at the last minute and overpay for a trade or make a move and just to make it so.
Now they're saying that now they're saying that a report just came out saying that now the Sixers are also interested in Lonzo Ball.
Yeah, I just thought.
So that probably means that trade talks with Lowry are probably fizzling out. So
yeah, because look,
you know what? When I hear all of that, that tells me. When I hear all of these teams, that just tells me it's somebody in Lonzo Ball agency or camp that's pushing out all this stuff. There's no way. There's no way all of these teams are leaking this out. There's no way.
Hold on, wait, y'all. Look, my two things what the Pelicans messed up.
Lonzo with clutch.
Because he is with clutch. Look, one thing that we seeing though is this. One, Lonzo's not a bust. Everybody said Lonzo trash. This proves the point that a lot of teams want him. But the Pelicans messed up by saying all we want is a young player in the first round pick. It's a lot of contender teams who will give that up. They like that's all you want for him.
Yeah, but hold on. But a lot of contending teams aren't under the cap. So again, with the money that Lonzo's making, now you have to give up a player that they want, but you got to make the money work. I think somebody said in the chat he's making over $10 million this year. I mean, so
I think it's $11 million.
So they want a young player with promise and a pick. That means you got to come off a young player. That like if you don't have those two requirements, they don't want to do business with you. They're not going to let you lowball them. David Griffin's not going to let you rip. You're not going to get over on them. Not for Lonzo Ball.
Yeah. That means that's kind of like one of the best options, giving up Bol Bol and maybe a pick.
That's a terrible deal. Bol Bol is a fucking bum.
They got to give up MPJ or Gary Harris. They got to give up.
Man, come on, man. Bol Bol is going to be an overseas elite player. He's not a fucking NBA player.
That nigga said an overseas elite player.
Man, he's not going to be. Hold on, y'all get hyped up on the stuff he might have did in high school and stuff. He's never going to be good in NBA.
I was looking at the bubble.
Hold on, wait, look at this though, y'all. Only person that probably would make the money match, but I don't think it's Gary Harris at $19 million. But everybody else besides unless they give it like Will Barton, but I doubt the Pelicans take him.
They're not going to do that.
Everybody else getting paid $7 million or less, or $3 million or less.
Again, Gary Harris. Again, the money. First of all, they got to be able to absorb. Like the Pelicans can absorb that money, but Gary Harris that actually makes your team worse bringing them in.
They can't absorb that money.
I'm telling you, the guard that they're really looking to trade is Eric Bledsoe and JJ Redick. Those are the two players they need to move because Bledsoe's taken away from Nickeil Alexander-Walker's minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's who they want to get more minutes to, but they can play Lonzo and Nickeil Alexander-Walker at the same time.
Yep.
Right? Yep. Because Lonzo's not a scorer. Walker's a scorer. Lonzo just needs to facilitate, and Lonzo is just a spot-up shooter now, and he's making his threes. So, I mean –
and I think getting rid of Zoe is going to hurt Zion.
Yeah, I mean, you got good chemistry now. The one thing you don't want to mess up now is your core and your chemistry.
Yeah.
And so when you have that, that's rare when you have a core like that where everybody loves playing together. Now you just got to really find pieces to make it work, and it can translate into winning. Maybe maybe overpaying, just like Charlotte did this summer. They went and overpaid to bring a veteran in Gordon Hayward in. You might have to do that if you the
don't want to be there though.
That's a lie. Lonzo just came out and said he wants to be there. He literally just came out and said that out of his own mouth probably a week ago.
No, they got a good core to build around with Lonzo, with Brandon Ingram, Zion, Steven Adams. They don't want to mess that up, right? The problem is Bledsoe contract makes it difficult for them to make a lot of moves. So, and who's taking that contract on at $18 million a year?
Mm-hmm. Shoot, even more than that. Even seeing how he was a dud in the playoffs.
There are playoff teams that could use a Bledsoe. Now there are teams if you can make it work. There are teams that could use them. But you got to find a way to make it work, and it's just been extremely difficult to get deals to work with so many teams over the cap.
Right,
it's just hard to get deals done.
Yeah, and it's just and again, if you're New Orleans, you don't want to prohibit your financial future by taking on a bad deal just to get Bledsoe off your cap.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't make sense. So
that's going to be hard, especially because if a team wants promise, they seen he was kind of a dud in the Bucks with the playoffs, kind of hindering them. So, do they really want to take that on?
Bledsoe been on a decline for a minute, bro.
Since he got that contract from the Bucks, really.
Ever since he got paid, he's been
on a decline for a minute, bro.
Yeah,
he was balling out that year to get paid, got his money, and same back to regular Bledsoe.
Nigga was a pit bull when he was with Phoenix.
He was trying to get up out of there. That's why.
He was nice when he's with the Clippers,
He
too.
played the worst he ever did. It wasn't back to no regular Bledsoe. He needs to get back to the regular Bledsoe.
Hey, Lamar.
He just couldn't never shoot.
Yo, what up, Lee?
You said Bol Bol is at best an overseas player.
He's a
overseas.
Look. At least here's the thing.
Might be nice though.
If you're nice, if you are a good player in the NBA, a team will manufacture minutes for you. Look at Talen Horton-Tucker. The Lakers are manufacturing minutes for him. He wasn't even in the rotation last year, but they knew he was nice. They knew they had to get him in the rotation. What did they do? Now they manufacture 20 minutes a night just for him. If Bol Bol was really like that, they would find minutes for Michael Porter Jr. When he really started showing he really was a solid player and could play, they made minutes for him. Right? And it really opened the door when Jeremy Grant left. Like, if you're nice, you're going to play. If you're not ready, you're not going to play. Right now, it's
he's
a luxury.
Not ready, though. I'm not going to say at best he's going to be an overseas player, though.
Man, he's not. He don't have it, man. He don't have it.
We'll see.
They're not even manufacturing minutes for him.
We'll see.
That's the number one sign right there that they don't even believe in you. When they're not even creating, they're not even giving you 10, 15 minutes on the court.
No, I think they just see he's not ready right now. But I'm not going to say at best.
I'm not going to write off. I'm not going to write him off.
Man, same with Mo Bamba. Mo Bamba's done. He's not a very good player, but everybody likes to hype him up.
Man, the nigga's been in the league 2 years. Like,
Mo Bamba's not a very good. Mo Bamba's never going to be a good player. Never going to be a good player.
I mean, what development is Mo Bamba going to get behind Vucevic?
Hey, Lamar, can you explain why?
What?
Why Mo Bamba won't be?
He's just not very good. He's not talented. He's not
some shit. He's not talented.
He's not NBA talented. So when I say talented, I'm talking about on an NBA level. At his position, he's right now he's a liability on the court. You can't even play him.
Hey, Lamar.
On top of the fact that he gets injured all the goddamn time.
And they drafted him based purely on potential because everybody.
That's it.
It was outside. It wasn't like he showed in college he was going to be a great NBA player. They just thought he had a lot of.
Yo, what up? Who is that? Who's I can't even see who's talking.
It's Elder.
Oh, yeah, what's up, Elder?
You got to be careful saying they'll never be a good player.
Facts. That's all I'm season.
Hold on. You got to understand that certain players got to be in the right, like the perfect scenario situation. And if they get with the right player, he can make them look pretty good. You know, you put some of these guys with like a Chris Paul or LeBron, they're going to look much better than they look right now.
It's just hard. Like, he hasn't shown me anything that makes me believe he's going to be promising. Like, he hasn't gave me anything that
he's been in the league 1 year.
Yeah, but okay, he's been in the league. Okay, tell me another player who's been in the league 2 years that just really rode the bench for his first
it's been a lot of players like
that. I can only name one. I can give you an example. See, I can give you an example. I know Will Barton rode the bench in Portland forever, but when he got his opportunity somewhere else, he made the most of it. It's only a handful of guys that you can say actually really did that.
A lot of
if you more, then I can't do it off the top of my head, but
I mean,
it's been a lot of players who
when guys with that much talent,
early in their career,
when guys with that much talent at the NBA level, when you see them not breaking into the rotation, I'm telling you, it's a lot going on. It's a lot that goes on off the court at the NBA level that we don't see. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is going on. I don't know if it's
he does. He is questionable stuff off the court. I think that's what it is. I think it's off the court stuff.
It's something going on because if he was that talented, he would get into the rotation, especially when they lost Jeremy Grant. You saying he can't even get 10 minutes a night? Come on, man. You can't fool me.
I don't think he's ready.
I just think he's not ready. It's a bunch of guys in front of you, and like Jermaine O'Neal when he was in Portland, like it was a bunch of guys in front of him.
Yeah, but there's not a bunch of guys in front of him in Denver.
It's different in that scenario with Bol Bol. It was like, okay, yeah, it was a bunch of guys in front of him last year. They cleared the palette by getting rid of Grant and Plumlee and all these guys. And you thought, okay, well, maybe they're clearing the space for him, and he's not getting in the rotation. So it's like, well, what's going on? Why is he not getting in the rotation?
Yeah. That's the telltale sign to me. It's just like even when the opportunity is right there for you. Like, and I even got it. Like, this is one of my favorite players. The same with Carson Edwards in Boston. The opportunity was there for him with all the injuries at the point guard position, and Peyton Pritchard absorbed all those minutes, not Carson Edwards. And Carson Edwards had been there longer. He's shown even in like preseason that he can put up a lot of points. But Peyton Pritchard came immediately in and took all those minutes. Why? Because Peyton Pritchard is just better. It's just simple like that. Like when a player is better and he earns those minutes, he's gonna beat you out. And Bol Bol is just getting beat out.
Hey Lamar, I will say this as well. Back in Super Bowl, back during Super Bowl Sunday, I broached the same question to you about another player, and you were right. Thon Maker, him too.
Thon Maker's
just
done.
a bum.
Oh
He
my
was
God,
just a
man!
bum.
Don't
He was always
even
a
talk
bum.
about him.
Yeah, but look, nobody was saying that when he came out of college.
Right.
I was saying that.
And then he had one year.
Older than he
He had 1 year in Detroit where I thought he was might have broke out that shell when he was actually getting playing time and he was putting up some decent numbers for a nice stretch.
He don't understand the concept of basketball.
Sometimes with these guys, man, like a lot of people don't understand. Like with Alonzo Trier, to a lot of people, Alonzo Trier should be in the league. He was with the Knicks. He was putting up crazy numbers sometimes. Why is he not in the league?
Wasn't he having off-court issues?
Yeah. Attitude issues. A baby mama's coming up to the practice facility, busting out the wrong car windows. Come on, man. Yeah.
I remember he had a couple high-scoring games, and poof, I never saw bro again.
Yeah, I mean the Knicks didn't want to bother with him. It was too many problems that came with him. But he's super talented.
One thing with sports teams, unless you're like uber talented or you have like a bottomless potential, they're not about to even play that game with you.
When your ability to be a distraction outweighs your ability to be a talent.
Yep, you're out of there.
Like he's expendable though.
When you look at the Denver roster, why is JaMychal Green getting all those backup reserve minutes at power forward instead of Bol Bol?
Experience.
Look, why did they went and signed even knowing that they had Bol Bol? Okay, but they knew they had Bol Bol on the bench. Why did they go sign JaMychal Green?
I'm keep saying that he's not ready. He's nowhere.
You can say that. Okay, so how come they didn't sign nobody to play over Michael Porter Jr. because they knew Porter Jr. was that dude. They knew he really had it in him.
No, but he has Michael Porter Jr. has a consistent skill set that you can say he can play right now. He can get a bucket on anybody.
That's the worst flaw you can have as an NBA player. At the NBA level, the one thing you have to have just to have staying power in the league, is you got to be
And that's
elite
what
at one thing. What
I'm
is he
saying.
elite at? He don't have one
That's
thing
what
that
I'm,
he's elite at.
that's what I just said. He's not ready yet.
So
But
until
I'm
he
just because
becomes
he's not
elite
ready
at
yet
one
right
thing,
now.
he's
I'm
not
not
going to
gonna
be able to
say
get on the court.
he's not gonna be. I'm
Like,
not disagreeing with you. What you saying ever? Like he's at best gonna be an overseas player. I don't.
he
see
is
that.
because overseas players are good at a lot of things, but they're not elite at one thing.
No, but I'm saying it with Tam, Bol Bol will become elite at something.
Man, okay. Do you know what happens with time? Your rookie deal runs out and you find yourself overseas.
He's been in the league for 2 years.
Man, okay.
Like
His rookie deal is going to be out soon.
He's a second round pick, so he don't have another guarantee.
Oh shit! Yeah, damn, that's even worse. Yeah, he's on a 2-way deal, ain't he?
Yeah,
I don't know if he's on a 2-way deal. I know he's a second round pick, but so he should have a third year option as a second round pick.
Man.
He did slide down.
It's a lot of red flags when it comes to Bol Bol to me. Too many.
My main detractor for Bol, because I do think he can be decent if he gets a chance to cultivate. But my main thing is his physique.
Hold on. Y'all act like you gotta when you a young player in this league, you don't deserve a chance to cultivate. You gotta go make your own way. You gotta go take your chance. Like, and you do that through practice and all this stuff. And when you do get your minutes in game, you gotta make the most of it. Like he ain't done nothing spectacular.
He did that in the bubble, but I mean he's right back at square one basically.
He did that in the bubble against inferior competition when the minutes didn't matter.
Hey, red flags that you saw?
The main thing, my red flags is that he never broke into the rotation. One, they're not manufacturing minutes for him, and then they sign over his head. So whenever teams are signing on top of you, that means they don't trust you. They signed Jermichael Green, a guy who's just the average player in this league. He's not, but he's great at stretching the floor. They went and signed him, knowing they have Bol Bol on the roster. Like NBA
because
players hate that.
They're a real team that's contending. They need to.
It don't
they
matter.
Need
Bol Bol
and known
Bol
commodities.
Bol. Okay, Michael Porter.
They can't risk their minutes.
Michael Porter Jr. is a 1-year
flop.
player. He's on his second year in the league, but they trust him to start it. They trust him already, even though they're contending. You can contend with young players. You can't contend with Bol Bol.
No, I'm saying Bol Bol's not ready though. You can't put him out there.
Man,
like
at the end of the day, he can't use this excuse for 4 years. Like, how many years we gonna just say he's not ready?
This is his second year in the league,
bro. But he ain't even broke the rotation yet.
He's not ready to play.
Yeah, I wonder why he dropped. That's another sign. He dropped in the draft. Why did he drop in the draft?
He had a foot injury, Lamont.
Don't matter. A lot of players come into the draft with injuries. Yeah.
I mean,
hey Lamont.
You know what happened? They went and started talking to them coaches at Oregon and saw a lot of bad signs.
Yeah, and remember, like even before the draft, right? It was question marks about how he would translate to the league, right? Because he didn't play a lot of games at Oregon. It was questions about what can he do at the next level, in terms of being an impact player. Nobody questioned his size or anything like that, but in terms of his skill set, like what could he do? So I think that's why he really slipped into the second round. When you slip into the second round and you're on a non-guaranteed deal, you got to come in. You got to come in and show something soon. You don't have the luxury that a first-round pick has.
You don't.
No, I'm not saying he has the luxury. I'm saying, to say the man is gonna be an overseas player, that's just going too far.
Okay, so you got him projected. What do you have him projected as being right now, based off? What
I don't have him projected being no overseas. Like for him to be overseas means he's just a bum and can't play. At that,
that's size, not true,
bro. Yes, at his size, bro, he's gonna be in the league, bro. Whether it's even at the end of the bench, bro, he's gonna still get opportunities consistently.
Until
he's not going to be over.
Unless he becomes consistent at spacing the floor, he don't have no other elite skill sets. Not NBA elite.
So, Lamont, in terms of his skill set,
Elder's saying this is his third year. Elder just said this is his third year.
This is his second year in the league.
Nah,
that's
his second year.
Hold on, let me look. Bol Bol. Let me look.
This Tyler Hero.
This is Bol Bol's second year.
This is Bol Bol.
This is his second year in the league. He was a rookie last year. He's not.
Yeah,
it's not his third year in the league.
In terms of
Tyler Hero was at his spot because he was projected to get him, so it's his second year.
In terms of his skill set, Lamont.
Yeah, it's his second.
Or lack thereof. I don't want to insult the guy, but what part of his game or where do you see deficiencies in his game, both offense and defense?
He's not a floor spacer. No, you don't even have. There's a lot of players with low IQ. The one thing that Denver needs is
not playable though.
No, but the one thing Denver needs with what they have on the court is their bigs have to be able to run the pick and roll at a high level and be floor spacers.
But Lamont, he can hit the occasional three.
They don't need occasional three. You got to be able to hit you need to be able to hit that 3-pointer at a 40% clip. JaMychal Green can do that for you. Bol Bol can't. On top of the fact that he's too weak to guard anybody.
That's my main thing with him is his physique.
Now,
same thing. He should get in the weight room.
Now, Lamont, would you say
barbecue chicken, nigga?
Lamont, would you say the same thing goes for Mo Bamba as well, in terms of his deficiencies?
Mo Bamba is not elite at anything. He's not elite at anything, and he's not his floor spacer. When you look at the big man with the Celtics, what's his name? Taco Fall. Same thing, same problem. It's a big body. I mean, it's a luxury to have him. It's a luxury to be able to say he has promise, but he's never going to break the rotation. Bol Bol. I mean, guys like Taco Fall.
Taco Fall is not in the same conversation.
Taco Fall is eventually going to be overseas soon.
Yes, but you can't put Taco Fall and Bol Bol in the same.
Yes, I can because Bol Bol, Taco Fall has at least gotten minutes.
That much minutes.
Bol Bol don't even get garbage time minutes half the time.
They don't even play that much minutes. Like, come on, man.
They're not the same caliber of player, bro. I'm not saying the minutes that they've got.
We don't even know what caliber player Bol Bol is because he don't get on the court. I mean, you can show promise in the preseason and summer league and against inferior competition. Like Talen Horton-Tucker showed us that in the preseason, he was lighting it up. When the teams activate and the regular season hits, now he looks like a bum.
He don't look like a bum. He looks like a young player.
He looks like an average player when teams activate.
Yes, a young player. How many players?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, Talen Horton-Tucker's at least shown us promise. He's given us games where we can say, we know he has potential. What game has Bol Bol in a real NBA game outside of outside of some of the silly games he was playing in the bubble last year, where we can say that man
I'm not calling
he really got it.
He NBA, bro.
Hold on. He wasn't. Hold on.
Games,
when they were playing, those were equal to preseason games. When they were playing in the bubble last year, and those games didn't matter for Denver, and they were just playing them games. And those first couple of games in the bubble when Bol Bol was scoring all them points, them games didn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, he got minutes in games that did matter though.
But in them games that didn't matter,
what's his best regular season? What's his best game this season?
This year. He got some minutes. He got a little bit of minutes.
No, he's played 18 minutes this year.
Wait, Lamont. So why do you think he don't get so many minutes?
I mean, he's played 18 games this year.
He doesn't know the game. That's why he doesn't get in the game.
He's played.
They can't afford to have.
He's only played in 25 games for his career. Stop it, man.
If he was on a different team, he would be cracking rotations. He can't play in Denver, bro. They can't afford to have him out there.
Yes, they can because Michael Porter Jr. is doing it in his second year.
Michael Porter Jr. is not the same caliber player. Michael Porter
they came in with they both got drafted with high expectations.
No, Bol Bol was a second round pick.
He dropped. Hold on, Michael Porter Jr. dropped. Michael Porter Jr. was supposed to be a first, number one overall.
No, he wasn't.
He had a debilitating back injury.
That wasn't a debilitating back. No, the Clippers spread a rumor that it was a debilitating injury, and that was a false lie.
But any back injury, any back injury is going to scare
the Clippers spread that rumor on purpose.
But he had a back injury though. That's
trying to get him to drop to them.
It doesn't matter. He for sure had a back injury. It might have not been quote unquote debilitated, but any team is going to shy away from. They had his physical. Any team with a player that's 6'10" that has back problems at that young, teams are going to shy away from that.
I just want to know where y'all see this promise at. What has he done in the NBA to make you believe he has promise?
Bro, I'm just looking at his skill set at his size. His skill set at his size.
Man, who is that snoring?
Once he knows the game, he'll be fine. He's not going to be no overseas player, bro.
It ain't like we arguing, bro.
He'll get better with 25, bro. He's been in the league. This is his second year in the league, bro.
Hey, Lamont, in terms of the three players that we discussed. Do you think it's? I'm trying to broach this subject correctly. Do you think it's a problem? Do you think it's just a case of 7-footers just being 7 feet for no reason, just being big plotters?
Bol Bol.
Well, yeah.
He has the ability to be a great player because he has the size, he has the length. I mean, we've seen him. We know that from college he has the touch to be able to shoot. But for whatever reason, I don't know what it is, what's going on with that team in Denver. He can't crack the rotation. And that's to me, when I see a player who can't crack the rotation, there's is some type of question mark there that I really need answered. And it's not because of opportunity, because they went and just signed. If they wanted to open the opportunity up for him, they wouldn't have signed JaMychal Green, or they would have signed JaMychal Green, but they would have still played Bol Bol over him, and JaMychal Green would have just been his backup. It's like, how many years can we groom a player and say he's not ready? Like, what year is he gonna be ready?
In the league for 1 year, bro. I don't understand this shit, bro. I really don't.
Come on.
Like this new league is crazy, bro. The man has literally had one full year in the league, and now we calling the man an overseas player because he can't crack the rotation. But all right, at a second round pick at that.
That's my assessment. That's my assessment on. That's my assessment so far. He hasn't done anything to show me that he can be a mainstay in the league because he's not elite at anything.
Hey, Lee.
Yo.
Don't you ask no more questions. It sounds like it's past your bedtime, Wood.
No, it's just that I don't want to wake anybody up. I have roommates.
Nah, he trying to say that was you snoring. Somebody was snoring on her earlier.
Nah, that wasn't me.
I don't even understand why people be going to sleep on the panel. Just get off, bro.
You act like they're on their shorty or something.
Hey, and Elder said it right. He said it best right here. He said most second round picks, they don't really stick in the league.
They don't.
It's just facts.
Yeah, it's rare.
It's a few anomalies. You got a few anomalies that really.
But
dude is the anomaly. I mean, if he can get his head on straight, he'll be fine.
I feel like with second round picks, they got to go to the right situation for them, and then they can flourish, like how Draymond Green did, or
Yeah, but even with that SB, you gotta when you get on the floor, you gotta be like do stuff where they don't even want to take you off the floor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. I probably understand.
Like Mike Malone even said it with Michael Porter Jr. It was hard for him to take Porter Jr. off the floor because he was so great on the offensive end, but he had to sometimes because his defense was just that bad. Mm-hmm. But what it did was it put them in a situation saying, we got to find more minutes for this guy. We just got to work on his defense. Like they literally will manufacture minutes for Michael Porter Jr., even though he hadn't had many college games or anything under his belt. But they were manufacturing time. If they're not finding a way for you to get on the court, that's what makes me worry about your future with that team and in the league.
Yeah, I think him going to the Nuggets gonna help him long run in his career. They can actually teach him how to actually play the game better. Because if you just went to it because he was like the first projected pick talent, but he was hurt, so he dropped. Now if he went to the team maybe like the Cavaliers or somewhere like the Wizards, where he could just have an ultimate green light, he'd probably be a star, but he won't be as disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he definitely had the ultimate green light. He's been pulling. Because he already doing it now with the Nuggets. So imagine he was on a losing team. Because I forgot who had the number one pick that year in that draft.
What draft was that?
I'm trying to remember.
I think he came out with Trae Young. He came out with Trae Young, I think.
No, because I remember that's the year Wendell Carter got drafted. Because I was mad.
The Suns had the first pick.
That was the DeAndre Ayton draft.
Yeah, the Suns would have still took Ayton. So even if he was still number one time, I think the Suns would have still took Ayton.
No, they would have took Luka.
No.
Luka if they could do it.
No, because Michael. Before Michael Porter Jr. was hurt, he was the projected number one pick, but he got hurt.
Top overall pick.
Yeah, he was the number one pick. That's what I'm saying.
No, coming out of high school, he was. But I'm saying if they could do a redraft, Luka would go number one.
Oh yeah, of course. But we just talking about if Michael Porter Jr. wasn't hurt, he was going number one. That draft. He was going number one.
That nigga True been missing that action ever since the Celtics been losing. Where you at, nigga?
He ducking his taco, boy. He got
I mean, SB asked the Knicks if they could do it over again. Would they take Michael Porter over Kevin Knox?
Yeah,
And Kevin Knox is another one of those guys that reminds me. You talking about a guy who's good at a few things. He's not elite at anything, and it's hard to keep him on the court. They ranked him last year as the worst player in the NBA when they did the rankings. He was ranked the worst
player in the NBA. Yep, that's bad. And like all his stats went down like in half. All his stats.
It's just like everybody and all people talk about with him when he was with the Knicks. They say, "Oh, he has promise. Oh, he's gonna give him time." But how much time you gonna give him? He's only showing you complete garbage every time he touches the court.
After you can't make a judgment on a player after 1.5 years, to be honest.
No, but you
could tell if a nigga can play or not. Shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can
tell if he can play. No, but there's a lot of instances, bro, where somebody has been on the end of the bench they first 2 years, and then later on, I can't go off the top of my head. It's been a lot of like.
But hold up, this is the thing.
You can't just have time. You got to bring facts behind.
But this is the thing.
I'm saying the Andrew Bynums, the Jermaine O'Neals, if I can go down the list.
Now look, the key word. No, the key word you just said. Now Tracy McGrady could hoop. He was just behind Vince Carter and all.
No, but I'm saying he was riding the bench though, and he wasn't in the rotation. His first.
But hold on. But what I'm saying is,
in the rotation.
Tracy McGrady showed promise, and he showed that he could be elite at something.
Yeah, he showed something when he got the chance to play.
So Bol Bol showed no promise.
That was Lamont saying.
In the G League don't count, bro. The G League don't count.
The G League, bro. I'm not talking about the G League.
That's the only time he showed promise. Was in the
Lamont, right though. Lamont keeps saying, bro, he can't even make it into the rotation. What do you want to do?
He supposed to be starting.
There's players that have not cracked their rotation in their first 1.5 years in the league.
Bro, that nigga some shit, bro.
Every dude in there was a big man.
No, I did. Tracy McGrady's not no big man.
We just told you Jermaine O'Neal Vince Carter, and he was playing.
And Bol Bol's a big man.
Hold on, but even when Jermaine O'Neal was in Portland, when the few minutes that he did get in with all the other big men in front of him, you knew he had potential.
Yeah, he showed promise. It just he wasn't getting a lot of minutes because he had like 4 guys in front of him.
Yep. And as soon as he left,
I haven't even. To me, I haven't even really watched the Nuggets like that to even see what he's doing. So I'm really not even qualified to say.
No, Kevin Knox on the Knicks. He's not in on. Kevin Knox not on the Knicks.
But I'm saying from a skill set standpoint, I don't see that man going.
I don't know what skills you're talking about.
Kevin Knox don't have no skills, bro.
His skill. I'm not talking about.
Nah, he talking about Bol Bol.
Kevin Knox is
talking about Bol Bol.
For his size, he's extremely skilled, bro. That's undeniable.
Skilled at what though? What is he skilled at?
Skilled at
he's just a big dude who can play guard.
Hold on, what is he skilled at? Because every player in the NBA is skilled. That don't mean nothing.
Dude that could dribble.
Look, y'all gotta stop. But not.
Hey, this kind of business, right?
For his size now, like stop.
Everybody in the NBA is skilled.
Skilled, bro.
No, that's not the case.
Stand on business, right? Stand on business. Listen to this, real quick. If the Nuggets knew they had an opportunity to run a death lineup that we never seen before, they was gonna run all forwards and centers with Joker running the point. They knew they had.
They did that during the bubble.
But listen, that's what I'm trying to tell you. They knew they had the bit, but Bol Bol couldn't work out to play in a position. The Nuggets want to run it. That's why they tried it in the bubble.
Yes, but he's not ready from a mental stand. Mentally, he's not ready to get.
How he say he wants to play?
That's what I'm saying.
Ready mentally. No. He's just not good enough, bro.
No, he's not. When you watched him last year, you knew he's not. He doesn't understand the game.
And hold on. What I'm saying is, even with players who aren't ready, they still do things in game that give you flashes of what the potential could be.
I haven't consistently watched him. I'm not qualified to say if he has or not.
Yeah, you can't just look out the highlights of him shooting a 3. That was just.
But I'm not even talking about no highlights. I don't watch the Nuggets like that.
So how do you know he got promise if you ain't watching?
No, I'm going off of what he did last year Lamont is saying that it was against inferior competition, which I agree with to a certain extent.
So what's the problem if you agree with it?
Nah, I'm agreeing with him to say I don't care who. If you doing that to NBA players, even in the preseason, to what Talen did, I know he'll have a sustainable career in the league. He's not gonna be overseas. That's what I'm saying.
You know, Jimmy Fredette.
That's enough to show me he's gonna
season 2, right?
Hold on,
bro,
Emmanuel.
stop, bro. That's apples and oranges, bro.
Emmanuel Tafari says he says how the Nets looking. I mean the Nets looking good. I mean
They were losing
They
to
just beat the
Portland last time I
Blazers.
checked.
They won that game.
Injury, right?
They just beat the Blazers.
The Nets looking good. They having a nice regular season.
Hey, Lamar, I have another name for you, and ironically, he plays in Portland. Harry Giles.
He's just like Bol Bol.
Yeah.
Nah, that's definitely not the same.
What?
No, come
That's
on.
definitely not the same.
Come on, stand on business.
That's the same situation. A lot of promise.
Yeah.
All hype.
Has not. No, Harry Giles has never shown anything in the league.
So neither has Bol Bol.
No, in no flash though. Bol Bol's had a 20-point game had a 20-point game in the NBA.
What NBA regular season game did he have 20 points?
Preseason don't count, bro.
No, the bubble I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the even in the preseason.
All right, so TJ Warren. So TJ Warren's an MVP caliber player.
TJ Warren is a good NBA player.
No, is he MVP?
Because he was playing like an MVP.
Nobody's saying he's a CD. That's what y'all are.
Hold on, but no, in the bubble, TJ Warren almost won MVP of the bubble.
The man's an MVP.
Hold on, did TJ Warren was like second? I think he got like second for MVP of the bubble.
Nobody's saying, bro. I'm going off your logic, bro. The logic that you just said that he got promised because he hooped in the bubble.
No, he's doing the logic. No, that's not logic. My logic is that's showing that he can at least play in the league. I'm not saying that he's good. That's showing that he's no MVP. I'm not saying that Bol Bol is the caliber 25 a night player, but this man said the nigga's gonna be overseas. I'm saying that shows he can at least play in the league.
Yo,
that's what I'm saying, bro.
Who was that? Go ahead, Big Solomon.
You. I gave an inch and took him out with that shit, bro. Which is consistent.
No, I didn't, man.
Throughout the whole conversation. Yes, you
No,
did. Just because he did that, I'm not saying the nigga's gonna be no MVP or average.
But stand on business. You said you not arguing for a nigga, but yet you ain't seen this nigga play, but yet you arguing for the nigga, dog.
Yeah.
You heard me? How you gonna say you arguing for him though?
No, I'm saying this year I can't say I'm arguing for him because this season I've said this season I'm not qualified to say if he so promised this season. But what he did in the bubble last year, that's enough to make me think that the man can at least play in the league.
I'm gonna tell you what the real problem is.
Overseas.
Look, stand on business. Because like I said, the Nuggets want to run that lineup, but they can't. They will say they know run that lineup will shake up the league, and they can do it with Joker because they already got Joker pretty much running the point. The problem comes in with Bol Bol. He can't guard nothing at all. And then it's like his offense is really that risky because really he's just gonna be a jump shooter. He too big out there to just be shooting jump shots. And that's where the problem come in, that he got to get his body right.
Bro, I'm already knowing, but even with that, he doesn't understand the concept of the game. That's why he can't get on the floor. He doesn't have a high basketball IQ, bro.
No, here's the thing. I do disagree with Lamont SB because the fact that saying that he's an overseas player after only 25 games. All right, Lamont said that shit, but like
that's what most second round players end up doing is going overseas.
Not after 25 games, not after a year and a half of playing.
Yeah, most second round players.
Time.
Most second round players don't play one game in NBA.
Hold on. Time out. First of all, no one mentioned this man's age, as well as on top of that, mentioned the amount of injuries he had to go through.
How old is
he's played.
How old is he?
I think he's 21 right now.
Yeah,
21. Come on, man.
I think he's 21 right now.
So it's not like he's 19.
For a 21-year-old to have 3 injuries that we know of, and we saying this man not gonna make it in the league after not being able to play that much. I say we got to give him a little more time to get more evidence.
Here, I got a player for you. So how much more time should we give Romeo Langford?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know who the hell that is.
Oh, okay. Sean, you know Romeo Langford.
Yeah. I know.
He's never
how much
Romeo
time should we give Romeo
Langford
Langford?
promise in the league. He's never dropped at least 20 points in a preseason game, bro.
I would be surprised if Romeo Langford is in the league another year.
Okay.
But how long has he been in the league so far?
Shit, true the king.
He's
2 or 3.
He's been 2 or 3 years. I mean,
okay, so
this is
2 or 3
second
years.
year this year.
So we're saying now that's what I'm saying, man. Like you're naming guys like Giles and that dude. Those guys had multiple seasons. Like Bol Bol haven't had 2 seasons yet. Come on, man.
Yeah,
like,
but Big Saul, but see, you just made a solid point, right? How many teams are going to take a risk to keep a guy on their roster who's been hurt 3 times in 2 years in the league? Wasn't
honestly.
Hold on.
That'll finish.
Who's not able to really crack the rotation in Denver? And again, looking at what Denver did last year to this year with their roster, you would have thought Bol Bol would at least be getting some minutes in the rotation. How many teams are really going to take a risk on keeping a guy like that in the league?
Well, and then on top of that,
if you look at the
how
history,
he performed in the bubble too.
Bro, I promise you, he's gonna get
a
myriad of opportunities.
If you look at the history of the league,
are willing to take a chance on him.
If you look at the history of the league, out of the last 5 years, there's five players that have been picked in the lottery. Either their first or second year they've been injured. It is what it is. So you do take that risk on people who have injuries. That's how they took a risk on Michael Porter Jr. with a back injury. No matter what sport you play, back injuries.
Nigga, Bol Bol ain't Michael Porter Jr. Nigga.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying.
Bol Bol ain't Michael Porter Jr.
Listen to this, bro. You compare.
We all agree.
We all agree to a second round pick.
Yeah, but
Bol Bol ain't Michael Porter Jr.
We all agree. We all agree. Injuries do affect your pick in the draft. It affect every single player that had injuries. It's the in every single one. Number 2,
Bol Bol ain't no Michael Porter Jr. though, dog.
But that's what the expectations are different for the Denver. Otherwise, he would got picked more early in the draft. You know what I mean?
Who Bol
The
Bol?
primary reason. Yes, the primary reason. Everybody know the primary reason why Bol Bol was picked in the second round because of foot injury.
Okay, and did you just say he was just hurt 3 times already?
Hold on, Big Saul. That's part of it. That's not the only reason why he fell to the second round.
I'm not saying that's not the. I'm not saying that's definitely the biggest reason. That was definitely.
No, I don't think so. I think the biggest reason was, again, there was questions about, because he didn't play a lot of games at Oregon, how would he translate to the NBA? There were teams questioning that.
No, I know before that the injury came out, he was projected to go late teens to early 20s anyway.
Right.
I can't believe we arguing about a nigga named Bol Bol.
Yeah, those are projections, and again, those are projections based on what the guys
what we saw.
No, those are projections based on what the scouts are hearing and talk. But you got to understand how a lot of these teams talk about certain players. They're not necessarily telling the complete truth about how they evaluate a player, because that's how they control the narrative. If they can get a player to slip to them by saying, "Oh, we don't think he's going to be a great player, but he can slip to them," they'll do that. So a lot of what they're talking about isn't necessarily true. There were questions about whether or not Bol Bol, from a skill standpoint, would translate to the NBA, because you didn't see him play a lot of games at Oregon. It was just
that's true, but here's another thing that
when he was playing, he was considered as a top 10 pick, bro.
He does have
a top 10 prospect when he was playing.
No, he does have. He have shown flashes of skill, like immense, unique skill. To be honest with you,
how many? I got a question, y'all. How many people we seen at that size to play the way they do be successful?
Well, honestly, at that size, no one stayed healthy enough.
At that size, we've never seen anybody with that size have that skill necessarily and that length.
The closest guy we got to it was.
Compare him to nobody.
But no, my point is this though. One time, did Tom Maker play the same way too?
Well, technically.
Hold on. Look, here it is right here, y'all. Here it is right here.
Technically, y'all. Technically, before the height transparency took place last season, Joel Embiid was listed at 7'2".
Look. Everybody was saying, he was saying, Stand on Business was saying He needs more time to get ready. Now, I'm going to tell you all the players. So I'm pulling up the draft board for 2019. These are all the players that Bol Bol was ranked higher than on the draft board, and they're not having a problem adjusting to the game. And even though they have major flaws in their game, when you look at Dort, he played at Arizona State. That man has major flaws in his game, but he found a way to get onto the court because he became elite at something. It got to a point where they had to mold a spot on the floor for him, and he signed a contract. We look at Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero forced his way into that rotation by being consistent, by being an elite shooter. When you look at Cam Johnson for the Phoenix Suns,
Tyler Hero is not no damn elite shooter.
Tyler Johnson is a great shooter.
Tyler Hero is one of the best shooters.
Tyler Hero is not no damn elite shooter.
Boy, you are tripping right there.
He's a good shooter, bro. He's not no elite shooter, bro.
Oh man, you is tripping.
What? I got to wait. Time out. Stand up business. What was the Heat running the whole playoffs when Jimmy Butler wasn't running?
What was they doing?
What was
they doing? They was literally running handoff screens for them to shoot.
Who had 37? Who had 37? It wasn't Duncan Robinson.
Bro, I don't give a bro. He's not no elite shooter.
Hold on, we're gonna pull up another.
Not elite.
Hey,
that's crazy.
Hey, what about the dude who plays for Miami? I can't say his name. Is KZ Acapella or some shit like that?
Yeah.
He cracked the rotation, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fit matters.
Hold on.
I can't believe you trying to argue for Bol Bol.
Hold on. We got Matisse Thybulle.
Fit matters, bro.
Matisse Thybulle has a major flaws in his game. He can't shoot, but his defense got him into the rotation.
But fit matters, though.
We got Nickeil Alexander Walker. They're manufacturing minutes for him because he's that great of a scorer. Even though they got Lonzo and Eric Bledsoe, they manufacture minutes. Oh no, what I'm saying is saying is, if you that dude and you can play, they will manufacture minutes for. They have no reason to really even play him, but they're going to find minutes between Bledsoe and Lonzo Ball. They don't need Nickeil Alexander Walker on the court, but they're manufacturing minutes for him. All right.
They're trying to trade Bledsoe.
Hold on, we got PJ Washington. He's getting minutes. Nasir Little has gotten minutes. Keldon Johnson's definitely getting minutes. He already broke the rotation in San Antonio because he showed. Grant Williams broke the rotation. He's got minutes. Look at this. Here's another. Here's the center for the Pacers.
Lamar, you ain't even got it.
You name it teams that have obvious.
Listen to this. How did all these players just so happen to get drafted to the perfect team and break the rotation? But Bol Bol is just
nobody
on the
saying
team.
They got drafted. Bol Bol
that's called making an excuse.
Perfect team.
Stand up in it. Bol Bol some shit, bro. Y'all stop.
Bro, 25 games, less than 2 years. 25 games, less than 2 years. Like, come on, bro.
Stop tapping for that dude, man. That dude's some shit.
Hold on. I'm gonna give you the best example right here. Hold on. I'm gonna give you the best example of them all. And I don't even know his name, but I know he's broke the rotation and he's actually shown promise in the few minutes that he's gotten because he's playing behind two elite bigs. And that, I can't say his name is Gogo Batazde. You know him. He plays for the Pacers. Everybody's wanting to trade for him, but he's a white dude. He's a center for the Pacers, but he can't. Even when he's a promising player for them because when he does get on the court, he's productive. When he has had an opportunity.
And stand on business. This is gonna make your argument flawed. The seeding games that you talking about, he played good in. Everybody played their whole rotation to sit. When they knew they was in the playoff spot, they set their starters because they knew they was in the playoffs. They didn't have nothing to worry about. So but that kills.
At the same time, that kills his argument because I seen some of the games that he played in. He did well, but hold up, you go from doing well. Not even making it in the rotation.
Nope. Him or RJ have to.
Bro, it's not. Bro, that's what I'm. Bro, y'all are not seeing what I'm saying, bro.
What is he skilled? What is he great at? Tell me one thing he great at.
Bro, he's great at being his size and being that skilled, bro. That's what he's. That's not being great.
First of all,
bro, what do you mean that's not being skilled? If you that
everybody in the league is skilled, bro.
No,
not that nigga, bro. Not that nigga,
bro. If you a hooper, bro, you know how rare it is.
I can't name 10 21-year-old players that's great in one thing in the league. Can you?
Yeah.
How many 21-year-old players you name as great at one thing in the league?
I can.
Let me go down the list right now.
Hold on, let's do it.
21 years old. That's greater than one thing. Go.
Okay, hold on.
You act like
Okay,
because you
hold on. Tyler Hero.
You a good player.
Hold on. Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero. What did he do? We saw him excel at. Hold on. He was the youngest. He was one of the youngest players ever to perform at that level. That deep into the playoffs. So he did it at an early age. Hold on. We gonna go to Eric Pascal. He got it. He got.
How old is he? He's not
21. 21.
What is he great at? What is he great at?
Oh, he a dog, bro. I don't know what you.
What is he great at? What is he great at? He's good at being a dog. That's crazy.
He's a good defender.
Defense, yeah.
He's a good defender.
What is he great at?
And he's great at. Hold on. You keep saying it, but you don't let us answer.
You hollering for?
Hold on. He's a floor spacer. He can make an open mid-range shot, and he can defend.
You said what he can do. He asked, what is he great at? Great
floor spacing. That's what he's on. That's why he gets on the court.
Spacer. He's an elite level floor spacer in the NBA.
He always going to have a job in the NBA because he can space the floor and defend at a high level.
That's a reach. All right, that's two.
He's not no elite level floor spacer. That's a damn lad.
Jared Jackson, Triple J.
Is there
Nobody's saying I can't help out. Nobody's saying I can't help out.
Okay, so I want you to tell me why has Bol Bol not broken to the rotation yet?
And what the fuck?
I just told you.
I already answered the question like fat.
He's not injured right now.
He's not hurt right now.
Not right now. But
he's not
you
ready
can't
to
say
play.
injuries didn't play.
Okay, hold on. If that's the case,
he's not hurt now.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Michael Porter Jr. had a major back injury, and as soon as he got healthy, he broke into the rotation.
Yeah,
with no NBA experience.
He's lottery pick.
Because they knew. Hold on, Romeo Langford was a lottery pick. He's been hurt, and he's healthy now, but he can't get in the rotation.
Bol Bol has been a lottery pick. He dropped. What are you talking about? So he was a lottery talent. So don't use that excuse.
Man,
everyone knows lottery picks have more investments.
Y'all niggas do whatever it takes to satisfy our argument, bro. Y'all just said the nigga was a second round pick, so he's not supposed to even play more than 2 seasons.
Hold on, wait. Listen, y'all just said the only reason Bol Bol dropped was the injury. So y'all saying if he was healthy, he was a lottery talent. I did not
say that. I didn't say
it because he was healthy. I said the man.
You said because of injury.
They talked to Oregon. No, I didn't. I never said that, bro.
Why he dropped? He dropped because he had a stress fracture in the foot, and he dropped because of injuries. That's no secret. Don't try to change it up now.
It was all other stuff, bro.
But I did not say he was a lottery pick.
They said his motor. They said, does he really love to play basketball? All that shit.
They said Anthony Edwards' motor. He didn't drop because of that though.
Exactly. He still
they don't even be thinking about basketball. Of motor, bro.
Players drop all the time because of injury, man.
There ain't nothing wrong with dropping because of
injury. You keep talking about these excuses. Hold up. You keep talking about these excuses for injury, bro. Hold up. The nigga not injured right now. Why he's not in the rotation?
There's a reason why he's
not. I didn't answer this shit like
he ain't ready.
They know he's not ready.
No.
They wouldn't. They're not. He's not
the best fit for that team.
They're contending. They are a contending level team that was just in the Western
Conference. Hold on, was Michael Porter Jr.
They're not
ready?
about to waste minutes on.
Hold on, was Michael Porter Jr. ready?
Answer that question.
It contribute at an elite level
with that team.
Hold up. Answer that question. Michael Porter Jr. was coming off a back surgery, dog. Right? So you mean to tell me he was more ready? And that nigga ain't never played an NBA game, but he was playing in the playoffs.
And then I literally just
from practice. That's how they judge. They had to. He had to be cooking in practice.
Bobo must not be doing shit in practice then.
Stand on business. I literally just said stand on business.
He get on the court. He's not ready, bro.
Stand on business. They literally want to run a fast center lineup with Bobo, but they can't get him.
I'm already knowing. He doesn't. Bro, I didn't answer this about 500 times.
Well, you keep arguing about it.
No, I keep arguing because y'all niggas is acting like the nigga don't have the skill to last in the
league.
He don't. Bro, yes, he does.
After 25 games, that's crazy, bro. Like,
hold on, Michael Porter Jr. only played like 10 games and broke the rotation.
After 25 games, all right.
Michael Porter Jr. broke the rotation.
No, he's saying. So if Michael Porter Jr. didn't break the rotation,
hold on, y'all. He's only played in 25 games.
He
got DNP. How many games? How many games was he a DNP?
It's a reason why you're not
Due to injury or not due to injury. I'm
Bro,
not sure.
I know why he's not playing, bro. But I'm not.
I only
I'm
said
not
because
about to,
when you get
I'm not
DNP,
about
that
to
don't
say
count
after
as a game
1.5
played.
years, the niggas. I bet y'all all the money in the world, the niggas gonna be in the league in 5 years, bro.
I bet he still be in the league too, but I'm gonna think
might be, and that nigga might be still riding the bench. Fuck you, man.
But I'm saying this nigga said he's gonna be overseas like that.
He
He's
is.
just calling the man a straight bum.
He
Bro,
is. He's a second round pick. There's no reason.
Riding the bench. What the fuck are you? A bum.
Bro, I'll bet money the man's still in the league after 5 years, bro. You don't
All
fan
right.
players that big
I
and
put
that
bread on
skilled,
that.
bro.
Hey, I'm just
You don't just fan that. You just don't fan that every day, bro. And if
How
y'all
long
niggas
was Kwame
acting
Brown?
like
Hold
you
on.
do,
How
y'all
long was
niggas don't know
Kwame?
basketball.
How long was Kwame Brown? How long was Kwame Brown in the league?
Bro, stop,
Actually,
bro.
six
Stop,
years,
bro.
something like that.
And what was he?
Kwame Brown is nowhere near as skilled as Bol Bol was or is, and nowhere in his
Kwame
life.
actually had 20-point season.
Kwame Brown was. I know Kwame Brown was in the fucking rotation at one point.
Bro,
that nigga can't even break a
bro, what are
rotation.
you saying, bro?
But stand on business. Here's the thing, right? The problem is when you're a second round pick, the team does not have a high investment in you, right? So you have to come in and bust hump more than the first round pick because the first round pick at least has a little more leeway in terms of their contract.
More expectation.
And that's the thing. When you're a second round pick, a team is saying we're picking this guy. He's a luxury pick. If he comes in and shows us something, he's got a chance to get in our rotation and maybe even at some point become a starter for us. There's something going on in Denver that when, again, they let Plumlee go, they let Jerry and Grant go, they bring in Jermichael Green, and they haven't found consistent minutes in the rotation for Bol Bol. And I'm just saying, it's not so much, he may not be ready to be that dude now, but he's got to show something to say, man, we got to find 10, 15 minutes a night for this guy on the floor.
He doesn't feel in that team.
Well, hey, he has a non-guaranteed contract. We'll see if he gets cut in the summer.
He might. I bet you somebody.
Bet he gets waived.
Up, bro.
With
Somebody's gonna pick him right up, bro.
Does Denver actually need another scoring big? They don't. Like, they don't.
Somebody's gonna pick Bol Bol right up, bro.
Fam, the fact that when Jokic go sit down and that man still ain't getting no playing time, bro, that should tell you something.
It should tell me what? It should tell me what I already know that he's not.
That nigga some shit. That's what it should tell you.
Bro. See, that's what I'm
21
saying,
years old, bro.
I'm
Less
not
than 2 years.
I'm
That's
not one of
crazy.
these niggas that do all that shit, bro. I'm not finna call a nigga no bust after no two, not that's 1.5.
Less than 2 years. Less than 2 years.
Second round pick, like that shit is just stupid to do that.
You don't, but he's a second round pick, so you don't really expect. If he good, then he good. You'll be like, okay, we found that's a gem. If he bad, you can't be a bust at the second round, bro. The second round pick is not a bust, bro.
I'm not. I'm talking about from what.
He wasn't picked high enough to be a bust,
but
bro.
I'm not. I just use that colloquialism, bro. Whatever you consider somebody that can't play in the league, don't use the word bust as people say it because you got to be a first round pick. To say the nigga's not gonna be in the league, to say he's gonna be a bum, I'm not finna do that shit after 1.5 years.
Y'all niggas in here capping for both.
Hey, let me ask you a question. See, and I'll give you a perfect example of a player who showed that he can force it. And this is on the same team. He's a guard. Because we know that Denver has a lot of guards. They don't need any more guards. But that Mexican guard, Campazzo,
whatever his name is.
How is he breaking into the rotation when you got Gary Harris, Will Barton, you got Jamal Murray, you got Monte Morris, and he's still breaking into the rotation, getting meaningful minutes in game? Because when you can play, a coach will manufacture minutes in a game for you. And this guy, he's the fourth guard on that team. They don't need any of his minutes. He's really but when you show that you can play meaningful minutes, they manufacture at least some minutes for you. Why are they manufacturing minutes for him, a 30-year-old guard who really they don't need, but they're not manufacturing minutes for a young talent in Bol Bol if he has all this promise?
Bro, like I said, they can't afford to have that man on the court, bro. They can't afford to have that nigga on the court. Like I said, bro, the man's gonna be in the league past 5 years, bro, at least, bro. Like he's not.
I just tried to explain it to you.
He's not gonna be in no, bro. I already heard. I understand. No, I understand where you coming from. But I'm not gonna make. I understand the logic of what you're saying. But
I'm just saying it worries me when the coach is not. When the coach is not taking time to make, because even 5 minutes in the NBA game is good developmental time because you get footage. You can take him to show him the film what he's doing. They're not even allowing him to get in a couple minutes. They're not putting them in the rotation at all, so they can get any film, just so they can, eventually mold him into that rotational guy that they want. Mm-hmm. He's not getting any rotational minutes. That's what worries me.
Yeah.
But when you got guys like Campazzo on that roster getting rotational minutes and they don't even need them, that's what worries me right there. See, RJ Hampson has the luxury of developing because he's under contract till 23, 24. He can take 2 years to develop and be ready that third and fourth year. All right. But Bol Bol doesn't have that luxury. He needs to be working 10 times harder than everybody else on that roster to break into the rotation.
On the Nuggets, he doesn't have that luxury. If they mess around and let him
go, he does have the luxury because the only person in front of him is JaMychal Green. He can't even beat out JaMychal Green.
No, but that just shows me. I understand why you saying what you're saying, but to me, that just shows me he's not ready on that level of play for that team, bro. That's a contender, bro.
But you don't have to be ready. That's not what I'm saying. If you got any potential or promise at all,
I know what you're saying.
They're gonna manufacture minutes for you.
You're gonna give him something. No, he's not gonna have DMPs.
They're not giving him nothing though.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. That's what I see why you saying what you're saying. I'm saying that I'm not gonna go that drastic with it. I think the man.
Another example. Chandler Hutchinson on the Chicago Bulls supposed to be in the rotation, right? He got Denzel Valentine taking up his minutes, and the Bulls want to play him. They can't find no time to put him on the court, and the Bulls need help anyway. How you still not getting in the rotation, bro? And they Bulls want to play him. They can't find him no minutes, bro.
And I'm just telling you, coaching at any level, if you got a guy that you say, man, this good, we got to find, you're going to find a way.
Yeah.
5 minutes a game, you're going to find a way to get a guy 5 minutes a game just because he brings something to the table every single night. Steve Kerr was like that. Steve Kerr came in the league, second-round pick, was not supposed to be that dude, played in the league 16 years because coaches said, we got to find a way to get this guy on the floor because he does one thing great.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's crazy about with Bol Bol versatility. It should be easier to put him on the court with his versatility. So that's kind of bad.
Yeah.
You got a versatile.
Nah, to me, it's more. It's not. To me, it's not about his skills. Like I said, I think he's not. He's doing something within practice that's showing them they can't play him. I think it's between.
So what can Bol Bol? What can Bol Bol do to get on the court?
Improve defensively.
I can't judge that because I'm not around the team. I can only say that for make an educated guess if I was around watching their practices and all that. Like I can't even make the judgment because I don't even watch they film enough to know.
I know it's not defense because the worst defender on that team last year was Michael Porter Jr. and they manufactured minutes for him.
All right, second thing.
To them, his offense outweighs that.
Can I get this point out the way? Yeah, that and also once again, Michael Porter's offensive game fits that system perfectly. Once again, what the Denver Nuggets need is defensive big.
It really didn't fit the system because he was mad that all the plays was going to Jamal Murray and Jokic and he couldn't get no touches.
He literally said it out publicly.
Yeah, like the cream always rises to the top. Guys, like that's the thing. When you got something you can bring to a team, a good coach, and Mike Malone's a good coach. Let's not get it twisted. He's gonna find a way to say, you know what? He may not do it the way I want to do it, but he's too good that we got to find a way to get him on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike Malone is known as a defensive coach. That's where he cut his teeth. So to have a non-defender like Michael Porter Jr. basically say, we know this guy's not a great defender, but he does this so well. We got to find a way to get him on the floor. That tells you everything. It's not about the system. It's about the guy. And again,
I'm not saying it's the system.
The fit what he can bring to the team.
I'm not giving up on Bol Bol yet, but I'm telling you the antennas are up because again, I looked at what they did this offseason by clearing the palette for him and moving away some of those guys who could take minutes from him at the 4, and he still couldn't crack the rotation consistently. That's a concern.
I agree.
We're not disagreeing with that.
We're
not disagreeing on that.
I'm talking about Lamont saying the nigga's gonna be out of the league, and
I believe he's gonna be out of the league next year, probably.
After less than a 2-year assessment.
No, he's probably gonna be out of the league next year.
That's not.
Wow.
I can't.
Okay, his contract is up.
We'll see.
He hasn't broken any rotation.
Next year, but I don't know if he's gonna be. I don't know if he's gonna be like I said. I don't know if he's gonna be a key rotation player next year.
They might sign a team. At best, the team will put him on a 2-way contract and stick him in the G League. That's probably what's gonna happen to him.
Yeah, he's gonna be balling them in the G League.
We'll see. We'll see.
And that's basically playing overseas when you stuck in the G League.
We'll see, man.
And then you got to think about this: Did Bobo even make a difference when he was in the G League? Because what's the dude on the Rockets? Kevin Porter, he went down there, killed them. They instantly brought him right up. Like, nah, he got to come play, even if it's for the trash Rockets.
I've never seen him
don't watch
play in the G League. I don't watch that shit.
I know a few players came out of there, but that's it. I don't watch that shit.
But shit, I mean, if the flashes you showed in the bubble is fooled, the man fooled me. Because you got to think. I'm trying to tell you this. I'm not willing to give on that size with that skill. Not yet.
What I'm telling you is this: a lot of teams gave him. We seen what happened with Thon Maker before, so it won't be nothing new. But I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you this: the reason why the bubble was fool's gold because every team who knew they was in a playoff spot, they was playing everybody. They was playing like it was preseason.
I'm not saying it's not.
The 15th man was playing.
I'm not saying it's not fool's gold, but I'm saying I'm saying if it is fool's gold, he fooled me with it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not fool's gold. He could have fooled me, but I'm saying I consistently just watching him, even in college and in high school, it's like being that big and that skilled. I'm not gonna give up on you as a coach. If I was coaching the man, I'm not finna or a GM. I'm not giving up on that size and that skill after 1.5 years. I don't care if you didn't crack the rotation or not. I'm at least you gonna get like a good 3-year, 4-year run with me with being that big.
First
being
round
that
picks
big,
get that. Second round picks don't.
I'm not saying you do. I'm not saying normally you do, or where they picked him. Of course not. I'm saying if I'm the general manager, I'm finding a way to keep him around. That's all I'm saying.
Why do I keep? You don't keep guys around that don't have a possibility of breaking the rotation.
Right? Yeah.
I'm saying if he, as of now, no, he doesn't. But I'm saying I'm going to keep him around, and if he consistently shows after 3 years or 2 full years, if he can't crack the rotation, then yeah.
Oh man.
Notifications. What happened?
No, nothing. I'm capping.
Damn, I thought a trade happened.
It's gonna be uneventful. I think it's gonna be uneventful. I don't think it's gonna be a lot of.
You don't think one?
I think Oladipo. I think Oladipo's gone.
Yeah, I think Oladipo's definitely gonna get moved.
Oladipo gone for sure.
But what happened was
With
Oladipo, they said Houston was asking for too much. That's why the Warriors laughed at the offer.
Yeah, they said the most they've been getting offered was 2nd round pick, so they better just take what they can get.
Nah, that's disrespectful.
You know what? But I'm curious to see. I've been hearing that the Nets are trying to trade for Norman Powell.
Everybody trying to get Norman Powell now. Yeah. But now I'm gonna tell you, Solomon. I'm gonna tell you why it's not disrespectful. Because look, I know you got a player who don't want to be there, don't want to sign. So I know you desperate to get him off, so you don't lose him for nothing. Because guess what? You traded him for your best player, James Harden. So you want something because you don't want to feel like you let go of James Harden for nothing. So me knowing this, of course I'm gonna lowball you. That's why everybody lowballing for Lonzo Ball. They're just like, I'll just match him on how offer that you don't want to pay him and just get him for free. That's how the
picks. But second round picks for big Oladipo's, come on, man.
But guess what, though? Ain't no guarantee.
That's a fact.
But listen, though, ain't no guarantee that Oladipo going to stay with your team. So that's all I'm going to give you a second round
pick. So a team's not giving up a major asset to get a guy that they only have for 3 months.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you should give up a major asset. But I'm not saying second round picks. Like, come
that's
on,
all you're gonna get, bro.
That's a franchise player over there, man. That's a franchise player.
No, he's not a franchise player.
He's not a franchise player.
Hold on, one at a time, y'all. Let's go one at a time, y'all. One at a time.
To be honest, if he's healthy, yes, he's a franchise player. But he struggled with injuries the last couple of years. I like Victor Oladipo, but his value on the market right now is not that great.
You just really call with Oladipo off.
I don't think he's
you like just arguing for bum.
I don't think he's a franchise player if he's healthy.
No, I mean,
you don't think Oladipo's a franchise player?
Indiana, he could be that guy.
Yes, he is. He made the defensive team and
a franchise player to me is the one that can consistently take you to the playoffs. Is him being a main call. in the system. I don't
he ain't
think
the guy for that.
He did that in Indiana.
Yeah, he did that
No,
already.
I'm
I don't
saying
think he's
I
the guy
said
no more after this
consistently.
injury is over with. He'd
I
never
said
be the same.
consistently. I didn't say 1 year.
I don't think Victor Oladipo will never be the
In
same.
Indiana.
I just don't think Victor
He did it
Oladipo will
twice.
never be
He
the
did it
same.
twice in Indiana.
Yeah, I mean, he was that dude in Indiana. Stand-up, been like he's not garbage.
Nah, he was that dude. I'm not saying, bro. Is there not a difference between garbage and a franchise player?
That dude.
I never said
I'm
that.
not saying the man's garbage.
I'm saying.
I
that
think he'll never be the same.
at this point, his value is what it is because of the injuries and because he's a pending free agent. Teams are not going to be giving up a lot to get him because of those two factors. It's not that they don't like him. It's just Houston's in a bad spot when it comes to getting something in return for him.
Yep.
They're not going to get a lot for him.
I think Victor Oladipo is an all-star caliber player. I just not gonna call him no franchise player.
Yeah,
We it's all nuance. No matter.
Yeah.
He is but that's y'all exactly hitting the nail on the head while they getting low ball.
Yeah.
Sorry for the bringing up Bol Bol and Thon Maker.
Yeah, please don't.
Thon Maker's a bum.
Yeah, bring him up on YouTube. Kick you out of town.
Bol Bol is bum alert, but I'm not willing to call him a bum yet.
Hey,
Bol Bol's done too.
Hey, Sean, I'm done with you three. I'm doing the ticket.
Okay, we'll go have fun. Go have fun.
Yeah.
Hey, we about to go ahead and shut it down though, because like I said, I gotta make a couple calls and stuff. We got a lot of people. Like I said, I got like 30 messages. Yeah, that was crazy, man. That just tell you life is short, man. That man just coming off one of the biggest highlights of his life. I know he had big plans on going overseas. He was definitely going to go overseas and make some noise over there. But man, that got cut short on him, man. That's crazy.
Did y'all talk about Elgin Bailey already?
No, I haven't even talked about Elgin Baylor yet. And I was going to do a live stream later this week to talk about him. But it was and I just wanted to wait till after. I just wanted to wait till after the trade deadline passed, and then we kind of talk about like some of the legends of the past because we done lost a couple of them actually.
Yeah,
so it's a couple of them we can talk about. But he's definitely one of those. I think he's one of those players too of the past that kind of gets overlooked in that conversation when you're talking about your top 10, top 15.
Absolutely, I
think he's one of those guys that really gets overlooked just because a lot of us didn't see him play, but when you go break down his game, it's real hard to deny his numbers in the game that he put out there, even if you go watch some of the videos. So
he was career 26 points a game.
He was the first wing to play above the rim in the NBA. Like without him,
16 rebounds.
There's no Dr. J, there's no Connie Hawkins, there's no George Gervin, there's no Michael Jordan. Elgin Baylor was that dude.
Mm-hmm. He give you buckets. Give you 60 points.
All
right, salute panel.
Hey,
salute, Lamont. Rest in peace to him.
All right, y'all. Hey, we'll be back tomorrow. We got another live tomorrow.
Salute, Lamont.
All right, salute, Lord Gamer. Salute everybody in here. Appreciate y'all coming in. Good conversations today. Hey, the trade deadline is gonna be heating up. I might actually, for everybody still in the chat, depending on some of the things that start to come out, because I know it's really gonna heat up tomorrow. I might go live in the afternoon. So if you're home, if you're not at work, man, just check your notifications.
No, I'm home every day.
Yeah. So hey, like I said, I'm probably gonna be going live to really talk about some of these trades because it's getting to the point where with some of these teams, some of these players just got to go. The Kyle Lowrys, Siakam, they got to figure out what they're going to do with him and that relationship. Drummond, it's getting to the point where something's going to have to happen, and we really got to. Some of these teams is going to completely change. So I'm curious to see how it works out. Yo, what up, Lord Gamer?
You think the Raptors should get rid of Siakam?
I'm just saying once that relationship sours, when it looks like it's starting to sour, not just with Siakam, but with a number of the players there, you got to make a change.
A lot of players that
and Siakam's game this year, just in general, hasn't been up to par. He hasn't been, and I don't know if it's him or I don't know if it's the relationship with the coaching staff or whatever, but something's going on with Siakam this year where he's not performing at the level that we thought he could perform. So, I mean, again, that's something that the Raptors got to evaluate. Do they move on from him because they paid him a lot of money? Do they move on from him now early, or do they hold on to him? So they got some decisions to make there.
I guess they should.
I mean, they should. They can. I mean, obviously, when you got a player like that, it's hard to let go of a guy like that. But
it's hard.
Toronto's in a tough situation because they're about to be in a rebuild.
Do y'all think their new venue is affecting their play too?
Yes, definitely is.
Yep, easily.
Your Fred brand really just got the bag.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know a lot of Raptors fans of Florida. To be honest with you.
Raptors fans.
The Raptors.
Yeah, fans. Yeah, the fans.
Who said that? All right, we're gonna shut it down though. So make sure you guys hit that notification bell. We're probably gonna be back tomorrow afternoon. Hopefully, if some of this trade talk stuff heats up. If you don't see us on tomorrow afternoon, though, just make sure you tune in for an evening stream. But other than that, man, yes, sir. Hey, appreciate everybody coming through. We still, hey y'all, just so y'all know, man, we still pushing for the FYF Sports Community Basketball event. They keep giving us passes. They keep extending this deadline for us to raise this money because the venue's not reserved. I mean, so the opportunity for us to still make this happen is still there. We just got to get to our donation goal. So if you guys want to donate to the FYF Sports Community Basketball event that's happening on July 3rd and July 4th in Indianapolis, Indiana, make sure you just hit the Cash App and you put the FYF Sports Community Basketball event in the notes so we know that money is going specifically towards that cause right there. But, hey, salute to everybody in the chat. We're going to go ahead and get up out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. FYF Sports, man, we out.
All right, so
we out.
All I hear is yap, 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 yap. Ain't talking about nothing, right? Watch this. We gon' bring that pressure.
Just a little FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? They been hating at first, now they calling us the best. Hit up YouTube, tell them cut the check. Just a FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? Woo, fuck your feeling, we all know who the real is. I be getting to it, ain't wasting no time. Walking straight in, we ain't waiting in line. Fuck your feelings, you don't care about mine. You a YouTube gangster, don't be yelling out slime. Or you talking LB, talking Ticket TV. Ain't nobody watching them, all the viewers be sleep. 5 years in, all your subs is your friends. Ticket TV, watch your cars again. Just a little FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? They been hating at first, now they calling us the best. Hit up YouTube, tell them cut the check. Just a FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? Woo, fuck your feelings, we all know who the real is. All know, shop don't close, working 24, trying to make the channel grow. Look at them, pointing fingers, hating on the low. You can't compete with our podcast show. Couldn't make it in the league, so we got on TV. Crying by LeBron like a little baby. You must be crazy, trying to ever play me. Or you super tough until it's time to say cheese. Just a little FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? They been hating at first, now they calling us the best. Hit up YouTube, tell them cut the check. Just a FYI, FYF, 20K sub 6 months, what's next? Woo, fuck your feelings,